puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzle hearts, we're in this together. Feeling it piece by piece. Our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Feeling it piece by piece. Our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzle hearts, we're in this together. Feeling it piece by piece. Our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for
All right, good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to the first solo 1000 piece puzzle competition. Please give me a thumbs up that I know you can hear me. All right, fantastic. And welcome to those who are watching us on YouTube. Everyone, wishing everyone good luck. Yes. So yes, you may use two devices, and you're welcome to use sorting trays and box holders. If you want to have some scissors ready or a knife, there will be some stickers to cut. All right, so good morning, Jim, and good morning, Sandra. Yeah, so today we are talking about community, and that was also a question. Oh, good morning, Smokey. Smokey's getting in on the action. Yeah, well, he's part of your puzzle community, isn't he? That's the theme for today. So your cats are always puzzling with you, keeping you good company. Yeah. So so one of the we're trying to have a theme for every competition, and also use that as the question when the participants register. The question was, what does the puzzle community mean to you? So yeah, Jim, what does the puzzle community mean to you?
And hang out. And I think we've all really come together to show each other that, like, hey, we can all be nerds in the same space and love this really weird thing so much that we do a lot of crazy things for it. And I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And I'm really, really glad that people get to be a part of it. And I'm really glad that Michelle lets me hang out and do these. It's an absolute blast.
Okay, yeah, so sorry, there was one more button that I forgot to click, so the YouTube viewers didn't catch the first part of what you were saying.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the first bit I was saying is that it's 4 in the morning here. So if that gives you any indication about how much I love puzzling in the community, that's kind of it. Also, thank you, YouTube chat. We're gonna need you today. It's gonna be a long morning for us.
Yeah, so just a reminder, the time limit is 3.5 hours. We want, to give as many people as possible the opportunity to finish those 1,000 pieces, and we're going to be cheering you on. So, yeah, make sure to drop some encouraging comments in the chat, and to cheer on those who are got sore backs and are struggling to, bring down those hundreds of pieces. So Sandra, what about you? You've been able to use Instagram to connect and
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have this pretty niche hobby, but also having friends from all around the world sharing that passion for puzzling. And I've met so many wonderful people the last year, and yeah, it's just an amazing community. I love it.
yeah, that's so lovely. And I've since I saw on Karen's video, oh yeah, check me out on Instagram, and then I went there, and then I was like, oh, discovered a whole new world. So yeah, I think Instagram is a big part of bringing the speed puzzlers and puzzlers in general together. Yeah, so for me, what does a puzzle community mean to me? Well, it's the Euro Jigsaw Jam, because it's all of you and all your ideas and feedback, and the opportunity to get to know different people and hear what's happening in different parts of the world. Because when I started the idea of a puzzle competition, it was like me and a computer and people connected on a computer, and the thought had not kind of progressed further than that to imagine what it could be, to imagine to go to the worlds and just feel like it's like a reunion, even though I haven't met these people physically before. And of course, everybody sharing their little stories, and of course you guys volunteering. That's really a big part for me. So basically what the Euro Jigsaw Jam has evolved into is a big part because of the community. Yeah, so thanks, Sandra and Jim. Let's do the reveal and see what we are working with today. So, everybody, you may open your puzzles.
Let's go. I'm excited. What is going to be the first 1,000 solo competition puzzle?
So, Lynn Meretha, your camera is off. Please check that, Lynn Meretha.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are plastic stickers on the box. Please remove those.
Oh, it looks absolutely lovely.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks, Lynn. So that's just your second device. Okay. Yeah, so when you've removed the stickers, you may place the box back into the middle of the table. Then I know it's ready to go.
Oh wow. What's the name of this puzzle, Michelle?
It's called Cabana de Playa, and it's from Sunshine Puzzles. It's a German brand.
What a way to start the day. I love it.
All right, looks like we are ready to go. Okay, no, somebody's just joined a bit late. Okay, so everybody remove the wrapping and the plastic stickers. Yes. Okay, Kim G, your screen just went black. Kim G, if you want to check that, please. Okay, then let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. Let's do the thing. This is really, really exciting. I know that it's a marathon for some people, and it's a totally new thing for a lot of the folks in the EU, because You guys typically stick to 500s in your competitions or thousands for teams, but I don't think thousands solo is very common. Is that right, Michelle?
No, we don't have thousand solo competitions. It's a very rare thing. So we have Sunshine Puzzles Cabana de Playa. Yeah, so we have a lovely beach scene in Mexico with the main character, Mr. Burgerman. And we have some chilies doing a rapper and some, yeah, what do you call the guy? Mariachi tortillas or something like that.
Yeah, it's
And
just a food party. I love it.
yeah, and there's like a nice gradient sunset. So it's a graphic image, so a lot of clear lines, a lot of black lines to work with, and yeah, solid colors. I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's good. This is going to be really cool, and this is a really, really great amount of mixture of difficult pieces and difficult imagery, but also relatively straightforward. Like that cartoon style does make the line work pretty easy, but because there's some duplication of pieces, like the double red chilies, the jalapenos, that can cause a little bit of back and forth. But I think if some of the players really look at the outlines of the pieces, you're going to be able to go in and figure out which things go where. This might be one of the faster thousands here. I'm really, really excited to see what everybody does.
Yeah, so
For those of you watching the flip, where a lot of the flip times on the 1,000 are going to take probably closer to about 6 minutes rather than the usual 3 and under that we see for 500. So we're going to see a lot of people blitzing through, and it's going to be fun to see. Are we doing a lot of sorting? Are we doing a lot of just making a big pile? What's going to happen here?
yeah, so I just want to point out that the box does have a large logo above the text and the palm tree. There is a poster inside there, which without the logo on there. So if you want to, you feel free to use the poster. All right, so on screen we have Nana from Denmark, Natasha. That might be a new. Oh, that's Natasha from Japan, who also looks after the Japan Jigsaw Instagram account.
Oh, lovely.
And we have Nicole from Bulgaria, Nora from Finland, Patrick from Switzerland, and Quinta from the Netherlands.
Oh, lovely. You can see Nana doing a little bit of an extensive sort early on. And I think with these kind of cartoon puzzles, that may be a good way to go. We'll see if it pays off on the back end. A lot of times with the thousands, the more you touch the pieces, the more it adds up your net time in the long run. So it's really a game of efficiency. Natasha seems to be using a couple of different sorting boards there as she's going through. Also, there's been some really cool announcements from the Japanese Puzzle Association, where I think they're coming up with a new comp. Is that right, Michelle?
Yeah, they had the first competition in Japan, so the national competition in Japan a couple of months ago, which was pretty exciting. But I know that there are also quite a few Japanese living in France, because I don't think we sent a puzzle to Japan, but we have had some Japanese participants from France. Yeah, so
Totally cool.
No, it's really nice and colorful seeing that spread of pieces, and oh yeah, seeing how Nana is making these little colorful piles. Yeah, so yeah, red hot chilies definitely stand out. The gradient sunset. So, and there's also the green palm trees and the green chilies. So we might see those different things being pulled out.
Nicole off to a good start. You see that she's flipping away from herself, using the outer edge of the pile to move into that negative space, which is really great. Nora doing a really quick job melting down that pile is a good chunk of the way through. Patrick Inninger is pulling out a lot of the reds. It looks like he stopped, may have paused in the flip and is getting a lot of those chilies pulled out. And some of that signage, I think that orange sign is also going to be a good target for people.
Yeah, so on screen we have Rika from Finland, Rika from Denmark, Sabina from Denmark, Sabina from Czechia, and Sarah from Portugal.
All right.
And Sabina from Denmark says, community is someone to share the nerdiness with, to be inspired and awed by others. And Sabina
I really love that.
Yeah, and Sabina from Czechia says the puzzle community is really supportive, strong, friendly, fair play. It's really something special.
I really like that, and it's really cool because even though this is a solitary competition here, everybody's doing it together, which is really it's sort of an opposites or work together in a cool way. And you can see Sabina down there; she's doing a little bit of a sort as well. I think she's pulling out some of the darker greens to one side. I can't quite tell if there's an edge sort going on there. Rika is using a puzzle board to put a lot of the blue pieces up over on one board. I think she's doing an edge pull, and that's going to give some good structure to the overall puzzle. Rika J is still getting through the pile, pulling out some of the blue pieces. Might be doing a little bit of an edge sort, but really just getting that pile melted down is the important part. As we come up at about 6 minutes and 30 seconds into this, so Sabina J is doing a really solid sort. You can see that she's doing outlines of like yellow with another color to try to make a borderline. She might end up going for that sun gradient. And Sarah building starting to make big pulls for both the red peppers and that orange sign. I think we're going to see a lot of puzzlers as they dig through go for that orange sign that's above the Burger Man, because it has a little bit of word in it. I'm kind of curious to see how many puzzlers end up going for those purely black pieces in the toucan or like the hat of one of the tortilla family, because those are going to stick out, those really dark pieces.
So we also have Sarah from Sweden, Semilia from France, Sophia from Germany, Stefan from Austria, and Tamar from the Netherlands. So
right.
Sarah says that the puzzle community really means a lot, and it gives a really fantastic atmosphere around puzzle events. And even though it's mostly about competition, there's a great friendliness. And
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, I love that. Yeah, it's really true. Even though it's competition, everybody's very kind to each other.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, because I mean, we're here mostly for the competition, but in the end, it's friendly competition. You know, there's not really these strong rivalries or trash talk or like, I don't know. It's just so positive. Yeah, and actually, Stefan said he's here for the positive vibes. And Sophia likes that she's allowed to like odd things.
Allowed to like odd things. Now I wonder what's going to happen with the even things, but we'll get to that when we get to Sarah Kay doing that rainbow style of getting the flip, putting some pieces above and towards the right. I think she's doing a bit of an edge pull and is then going to go in and build out that border. We could see Samalina, so I apologize for butchering the names here. Getting through that initial flip is starting to consider pulling some pieces and getting them together. I think she's going to go for those red jalapenos. Sophia also is plugged into either some music or some sound, hopefully ignoring me as I stumble over things, which is great. But you can see she's pulling out, sort of using the center of the pile to flip into either that rainbow section of the major pile, or pulling the sides, the edges down over to her left, which is going to be a real interesting tactic to see. Stefan maybe working on a slightly long table, but you can see that he's got 3 different sides to play with, so he's going to have some mobility, which might give him an advantage here. And Tamar, I'm real excited to see Tamar puzzle all the time, also using that rainbow setup. And you can see that initially got the flip completely done and is now doing an additional sort, and it looks like making room for both the chili peppers and some of the blue, and I think already has the edge pull. This is going to be there's going to be a lot of early tactics here that give advantages down the line for some puzzlers. And I think some people are going to have an interesting time. Those peppers are either going to be real easy or be a little tricky just because those colors are split. So I'm curious to see how players are going to do with that.
So joining us now, we have Taya from Finland, Teresa from Czechia, Tobias from Sweden, Valerie from Germany, and Valentina from Belgium. And Tobias is already building the border. Got some nice, the top left-hand corner going there.
Oh yeah, no, Tobias is doing a great job here. He's using a little bit of a pick and place for the border, which you see a lot of times in high level play, where it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be close enough as you blitz through it. For those of you playing at home, a 1,000-piece puzzle typically has 126 edge pieces. So if you end up getting your flip done in about 6 minutes, and then you're able to do a full border in another 6 to 8 minutes, something like that, you're on a really, really strong pace and ahead of a lot of times that people take to do 100-piece puzzles, just as like standard mini blitzes. And I think usually the 1,000 ones are harder because those pieces are further away, so that extra little bit of travel adds up over every piece. It looks like Teja is also doing a pretty big sort. I think some folks that are doing a lot of the reds and oranges, those extra touches may end up costing them a little bit of time in the long run, but it's a good starting point. Also has the edges pulled out, so I'm curious what she's going to work on. I think she has a little bit of one of those signs built out. Yes, one of the signs is totally built there, which is great. Valerie's starting to work on the edges, getting that blue sky in. There's going to be a little bit of brute force at the top, but there's a significant gradient that players are going to be able to work with in order to get those in. And Valentina doing a big old sort. I think there's a couple of edge pieces that she's going through there, or that he's going through there, and has a few other groupings as well. So is going to try to get one of those chunks down, and then has a few extra targets to jump onto immediately afterwards. But right now, Tobias has about 3/4 of that edge put in with a couple of little gaps.
Yeah, so something, so when I started, I pulled out the red chilies because I always like the reds and the oranges, and I eat chili with almost every meal. So I'm attracted to red chilies. I have to say, I found them a little bit harder than I expected because they're bigger than the poster or the cover of the box, and it was kind of, and the bottom halves are very similar. So I did find it a bit tricky placing, like just imagining how long and wide they were. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the image. I thought it was really fun. I also, yeah, they also, so we're actually going to chat with Ellen later. Ellen Schiller from Sunshine Puzzles is joining us today as our guest, and she'll be telling us all the backstory of Mr. Burgerman and what he's doing in Mexico at the beach, and what it's like to start a puzzle business, to design her own puzzles. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, and we'll speak to her later. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention in answer to the question. So Valentina says, the first word that comes to mind when I think of the community is fair play. It's full of people who enjoy the same thing and want to share and spread that joy, and just to get to enjoy it as much as possible. And I think fair play is a really important word. That's the second time somebody mentioned that. Because there is a lot of trust involved, and there's these online competitions with the whole mystery puzzles and all that. And, you know, sometimes people say, yeah, but people could just open it, or people could just like do the puzzle beforehand or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't think people do that. I think people really want to value that first attempt, their, you know, like, I don't think cheating is really a part of this competition, because in the end, you just cheat yourself, and it would look a bit strange if you ended up getting, like, I don't know, 37 minutes in competitions, so in an online competition, and then taking 90 minutes in a real life competition. So I think in general the puzzle community are very honest, and yeah, and fair play is a good word for that.
Yeah. No, and every so often people get lucky and they've seen the puzzle before, they've done it before, especially some of the top puzzlers that are doing, hundreds of puzzles, in a couple of months. Like they're gonna see a lot of things before, or even just have familiarity with the image, and that's going to be a thing that happens from time to time if it's not a previously published one. But just the fact that the amount of trust for people to go, okay, whatever comes out of this box, I'm just going to do, and it's going to be a blast, is really, really cool. And as you shift things around here a little bit, you can see Tobias has a lot of that outer edge and did a big pull to get some of those red chilies together. I think there might also be some of that orange sign, which is going to be a pretty good target for folks, because there's some wording in there to build out of as well.
Yeah, so we have Veronica from Slovakia, Vicky from Hungary. Vicky, your screen is frozen. Vicky, we also have Ronnie from Switzerland. You can see the nice sun shining through, looking lovely there. We have Vies from the Netherlands and Victor from Poland. Now, we should keep an eye on Veronica. She has been doing really well recently. She's been in the top 10 consistently. She's a sister of Lenka, and really strong performances lately. So, she's already done the cruise ship. Yeah, there's like a ship in the background, white with some blue, yellow, and red stripes. So that's also an interesting one to pull out. That's also a good one to pull, because there's very little white on the image. Yeah, good start.
Yeah, and that was going to be the thing I was curious about, is who's going to do the smallest, most targeted parts of this puzzle early, because there's less extra touches, right? If it's about a half a second every time you pick up a piece, well, if you multiply that over 1,000, that adds up really, really quick. So the smaller you can make your pulls and your targets, the speedier you're going to be going. Vicky is also doing really well here. You can see she has several small islands built out, has a few of the signs already built away, and I think border lines between like grass, either some of the grass and the burger lines. And has the outlines of those chilies going as well. She's doing very, very well here. I don't think she sorted the edges either, so it's going to be fun to see what her next major target is going to be. Veroni also doing a good job. It looks like she may have started a little bit on the Nacho family and is also working on those orange words. Wiles has that orange sign almost completely built and is going into Nacho Land, which is really cool. I'm the Nacho Worlds. And Victor in the lower right, you can see that he did a big sort right out of the gate. Has a lot of the reds and oranges locked in, some of the deeper blues, and he is also building that ship the same way that Veronica has. He's just done a major sort up front. So it's going to be interesting to see how he operates from here. You can also see that he has two different sorting boards. I think on thousands, having those sorting trays can help you with major carrying from one side to the other if there's major regions. But sometimes those puzzle boards can get in the way a little bit. On the thousands, I think they help more often than not. What do you think, chat? Make sure to put some info in here. It's going to be a crazy morning. We have some guesses coming in for how much time it's going to take to get this puzzle, where our first couple of finishes are. We have an hour 30, an hour 57. Fruzy is guessing an hour 10 for the first finisher. I think that's we're going to see some speedy finishes here. Michelle, do you have a guess as to what people are going to get here?
I would say about 1 hour 30.
Okay. I'm gonna be optimistic here, and I'm going to say that our first finishers are going to be at about an hour 26, which is a little zany. A lot of the a lot of the U.S. puzzlers, some of the top finishers end up getting down to about an hour 30 or so. If it's a faster puzzle, they duck under. I think this is going to be one of the faster thousands, and if folks are familiar with this, they're going to be able to blitz through pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it is a smaller brand, so it isn't like an independent label, you could say, and it is fairly new. So I think many people have perhaps seen some of the Burger Man. So there's a series. Burger Man is indifferent. He owns a pub, and he goes to the gym, and he works at an office. So there's a few images that have people may have seen on Instagram, probably more familiar to the German market, and there's also mini puzzles. And Ellen did go to the Worlds, because I remember I remember seeing a post saying, "I'm coming to the Worlds. What do you want?" And I'm going to bring it with me. So maybe a few people are familiar with the brand, but I don't think many people would have done this puzzle. So I looked at some times, and I saw that like some people had done like Valladolid, maybe around 1 hour 20-ish. So that is a puzzle that most likely people had did a second time. But I think this one is a more on the easier side. I chose a puzzle that I think most people would have a good chance of completing. All right, so we have Aaron from the UK, Alex from Germany, Alina from Germany, Andrea from the USA, and Andreas from Germany. And I like what Andreas said. 15 years ago, I wondered if something like speed puzzling existed. It didn't. Now it does. It feels a bit surreal.
Maybe Andreas put it into the universe for the rest of us. So thank you, Andreas, for dreaming it and getting us all here. I'm gonna plant the flag and say that this is your fault.
But then again, I love the story from Andrea when she was in a podcast, and she said she felt like she invented speed puzzling because at family get-togethers she would always say, "Hey, let's have a competition," and they would time themselves, and it was just something like a family tradition that they speed race each other, and then at some point she realized, oh, there's actually people who do this. It's a thing.
Oh, that's lovely. And you can see Andrea's doing a great job here. She already has the full border built and has a big chunk of both of those red chilies. Both of the heads of them are built in, and their chains, and now it's just a matter of locking them in a little bit tighter to the border edge. She's doing a really great job. Andrea is known for her dead reckoning, or what's also called the pick and place method. But she grabs a piece, puts it exactly where it needs to go on the puzzle, even if there's no other anchor points or explanations for where it is. She already has a really good idea of where those are going to line up. So even though things look a little disconnected, in reality, Andrea knows exactly where those are going to end up, which is really, really phenomenal. We could see Alina has done a pretty decent sized sort. You can see that there's groups of the red chilies, and I think that orange sign as well, which is going to come into play down the line, and is getting the rest of this flip tightened up quite a bit. I think those sorts are going to go well for her. Alex asked, looks like he has the chilies fully complete. The border is lacking still, so a little behind Andrea. And some of the other leaders, but really, really doing well. A lot of times getting those initial anchor points in gives you an acceleration through the rest of the puzzle, because then you have things to work off of. And I think Alex also has that Cabana Playa sign, that orange sign, that a lot of puzzlers are going to be able to use as a major through line. And Aaron has a lot of good sort. Oh yeah, there's the Plaza de Playa sign already built across. That's a really decent size line across. The font size fits on the pieces, so it's going to be really, really fast for players.
Yeah, and Alex and Alina said, they really love connecting with people. Lots of friendly people, and just having others to chat with about puzzles. So, and Andrea said it's she really met some wonderful friends, finding the most supportive and kind group of friends who understand my crazy passion. That's lovely. All right, so we also have on screen Anna from, I'm going to leave Andrea on there for a while. I really like seeing those chilies come together. Then we have Anna from Cyprus, Anna from Germany, Anami from Switzerland, Ian from the Netherlands, and Astrid from Denmark. So yes, so Sandra is getting really excited because I said that we're going to interview Ellen. Sandra is a big fan. She's got 6 of the large puzzles and all of the mini puzzles. So I do have a whole bunch of mini puzzles. They're really fun. So we have some from the Sunshine puzzles that I ordered together with this, with the 1,000 piece puzzles, but I held myself back from putting them in the online shop because I know that we have a lot of eagle eyes who will notice anything. So if I had put Sunshine puzzles in the mini puzzles, I'm sure somebody would have got the hint that maybe it would be, we would also have the 1,000 piece puzzle, but we will be adding them to the shop. We'll be adding them to the shop this coming week. So if you're interested. But yeah, definitely check out Sunshine Puzzle Shop. They have the full range of 1,000 piece puzzles. I really like how Astrid is doing the sun, how that's all built out. Nice gradient there.
Yeah, Astrid picking a gradient, and that's one of the things she's got. She also has that Plaza de Caba, the worded sign built completely. She's also done some sorting for those chilies, so we might see those come together really quickly. And I think she has, she's going to start working on that white boat now. And that should rapidly come together. Astrid's going to have some really good islands built in here in order to work off of. It's going to come down to, does the sunbursting method pay off for her after getting this built in? Anna's doing really well, has both the boat and the Plaza del Playa pieces in. And I think I don't have a really good sense of it. I think that the Plaza del Playa and the boat are probably going to be about 150 pieces, maybe a little more in total. And you can see a lot of the puzzlers, they also branch into that sunset, that lower part of the sunset grading as well real easily, because those oranges bleed together a little bit. So if you get one, you're going to have both pretty easily, and Anna's off to a good start there. And also has the two big signs, the orange one and the yellow one, locked in together and is going across. You can see she's also lining up sort of the borderline between oranges and greens. I think that is, or some orange and blues. And is going to try to get outlines of things built in pretty rapidly. Anami, you can see that she's quarantined or set aside a lot of the Nacho family up in one corner, and is going to try to grab those together. Also, very early toucan sighting. We have a bird sighting. I'm excited to see birds every so often. So we have our first bird sighting on screen. Pretty jazzed about that. I think Anami also has both of those chilies completely built. It's a little difficult to see in that lower side. But at least one of them is totally built, and I think the burger hat of Burger Man is also locked in here. I'm curious to see how the way that she set up her table, a lot of the pieces that she's going, the main pile that she's using is right in the middle of the build area, so there might be a little difficulty shifting things around in order to get them to fit in down the line. But she's off to a really good clip here, and is in the mix for being in the leaders.
Yeah, Anami often builds things separate from each other. So she often has these islands, and often not in the location where they are on the puzzle. But then we kind of catch up with her later, and then they're all like, all these sections are connected. So yeah. She's again doing all the big sections, and but yeah, it is, for me, I feel a bit worried with all the chaos pieces in the middle, but I'm sure she'll work it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a really great tactic, especially if the puzzle has some discrete islands that you can build rapidly, because then you don't have to worry about, did I place this piece exactly where it goes or just kind of close enough? And if you can get those major chunks built in and then do a big sweep to get sort of the fluff out of the way and then lock them in, you're going to be able to keep cruising right away. And speaking of cruising, Astrid just got that boat almost complete as we were chatting. And Arjen, doing a great job, has that top border built out. and also the big orange Plaza de Playa, the Cava sign.
Cabana de Playa.
Cabana de Playa. I am so sorry. It's a tongue twister this early in the morning. But has that built in, and I think the we might see a little bit of a slog whenever the players come out of these first major kind of easier islands and into some of the more gradient shenanigans or some of that ground splotchies in the sand. But they're off to a really good clip here as we come in on the 30 minute and 30-second mark.
So we also have Ajalin from Argentina, Bibi from Denmark, Cameron from Canada, Catriona from Ireland, and Chiara from Italy.
All right. Yeah, Aylin doing that island building, and with those pieces all pretty close together, she's going to be able to save time on her movements overall because the pieces are right nearby. She's not going to have to reach real far. And there's always a game of trade-offs in speed puzzling, right? If I have my pieces close together, it might make it a little more difficult to see. If they're spread out, I can see them easier, but it's going to be a little harder to get to. So there's always these trade-offs going on every time you make a move, which is really interesting. Bibi has the boat built out and the big sign, so doing pretty solidly here. And Cameron has the boat built out and almost the whole top border. I think there's maybe one or two pieces preventing that edge from being fully locked in. And the yellow sign, I think that they're starting to go in on the orange. Catriona, I apologize for butchering the name. Catriona, thank you. My eyes aren't what they used to be. But she's doing a great job. You can see that there are four different sorting trays that are being used. So that way, hopefully that'll give a boost in the second half here. There's not a ton of things totally built out yet, but we're only 30 minutes in, and if you take that time to really understand the pieces on the later half, you're going to be able to push through. And looking over at Chiara, you can see that she's got both those chilies built in and is almost fully locked into the boat. I think we actually have a through line from the top of the chilies into that boat.
Yeah, the flamingos are connecting the chilies to the boat.
Yes. Another bird sighting. The birds are coming into play now after the 30-minute mark, more birds. And you can see Chiara hasn't done a major sort. And now with that little bit of adjustment, you can see that has also that entire big orange sign and that lower sunset. She has a lot of those islands in the middle already attached, which is really, really lovely. Chiara usually doesn't do a full border build whenever she's puzzling. A lot of times it's make the big islands and then fill in from there. And you can see that she's doing the exact same thing with this 1,000-piece puzzle as she does with the 500s. Really, really cool stuff.
Yes, I just wanted to mention Camrith answered that it's such a welcoming group of so the puzzle community is a welcoming group of like-minded puzzlers with equal amounts of competition and puzzling for enjoyment. They are highly supportive of all levels of puzzle enthusiasts, and he's happy to have rediscovered the joy of puzzling thanks to the community. So I really like the line, highly supportive of all levels of puzzle enthusiasts.
Yeah, that's really lovely, and I'm glad that puzzling is come back for you, which is really great. Richard in the chat is pointing out that Astrid's puzzle looks satisfying because everything is so neat and tidy. Yeah, everybody has a different style of puzzling, and Astrid right now is pretty organized.
So we have Cornelia from Austria, Elena from Latvia, Elisa from Denmark, Elodie from France, and Amelia from Finland. Already seeing some trays being used. Alina has her trays set up so that she can sort the colors, and Cornelia has pulling out her tray.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of trays double stacked there for Cornelia. She has one right on top of the other.
So she can bring what she needs closer to the puzzling assembly area, and whatever she doesn't need, just place it back without having to shift the pieces around on the table. So it's also handy.
Hmm. No, really, really great. You can see Cornelia has that whole that whole middle line built through from the left-hand side of that orange sign through the sunset. We have another toucan bird sighting. I'm excited. Connected all the way into the boat. So that whole line is built straight across. Congrats, Cornelia. You're off to a great clip. Alina, also another toucan sighting. Let's go for toucans. We have two different signs being built. That boat is squared away. I think there's a couple flamingos. We are in birdland, folks. Alina also is using multiple puzzle trays that are shaped like puzzles. I love how the puzzle community is always theming the puzzles. There are puzzles and puzzles all the time, which is great. Elisa has that orange sign and is working on the boat right now. You can see the boat coming together and is sailing away into the next stage of this puzzle. Elodie also has that boat, and we have flamingos, and that line across from left to right is almost fully built here. And I think there's an outline on her table, or at least sort of a zone of how big the Thousand Piece puzzle is. You can see there's a shift in color from like the darker part of the table to sort of this grayed out zone. So that might be helping some of the placement and spacing, which is pretty interesting. But she has the boat, that sun, a little bit of that lower sunset across the signs, and then the flamingos are coming in, and I think there's half a toucan. Let's go birds. And Amelia, always fun to watch Amelia puzzle. She's so speedy with her fingers. You can see that they just fly over the pieces rapidly. It looks like she has the face of Burger Man almost completely built out here, and a lot of the orange sign across and through that lower sunset. So Amelia's doing a little bit of a different tactic here, going for burger face early. It's sometimes difficult. You always puzzle what jumps out to you, not necessarily what is the most bright color for everybody else, which is why you see some people doing the boat a little bit later or a little bit earlier. I think we're going to see some puzzlers end up going for that burger face second, as that pile thins out a little bit. But Amelia is able to see that pretty early on and is doing a great job coming in here on the 37-minute mark. She is doing really well.
Yeah, there is actually quite a lot of brown on the image because you have the wooden tables and chairs where the tortillas, I'm going to say they're a band. They don't look like a family. They look like a mariachi band where they're hanging out at the bar. Then you have the brown palm trees, one on either side, the brown burger man and his hat, and also the sandy background. But I did actually pull out I think the burger man was the first main character that I built, because the brown is easier to identify. And there's also like a lot of details, like the bordering the lettuce, and the hat has a particular texture, and the face. So yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see more Burgermans earlier on.
Well, I think because even though that burger brown texture sticks out, because there is a lot of other brown in the sand, it's not as distinct on some people's eyes, so they glaze over it and go for some of the things that jump out a little bit more. And that might be why some folks ran for those chilies earlier. They're red, your eyes attracted to it, but that may be a little bit of a big pull early on. So I'm excited to see what happens. We have a couple of people in the chat shouting out, "Go Amelia!" And welcome to Julie Knox, who's this is the first time catching an EJJ live. So hi to you in Sydney. This is really fun.
Yeah, I just want to mention,
and a shout out for Julie as well. Oh, that's for Catherine saying hi to Julie. Sorry.
Very nice. Yeah, I just want to mention, so Elodie, who was just on the screen a moment ago, she competed, what was that, a week ago? 1 or 2 weeks ago at a 12-hour competition in France, and her team placed first. With over 7,000 pieces they placed. So they had 6 people in their team, and quite a challenging competition. The final puzzle was 2,000 pieces of chocolate.
Oh, wow. So, that is wildly difficult. Congrats on that.
So they did say don't mention chocolate for a while. All right, so we're leaving Amelia on the screen a bit longer. We also have Emma from Ireland, Fortani from Cyprus, Freya from Denmark, Hannah from Finland, and Inga from the Netherlands.
And Hannah here is absolutely flying. She has that main sign done, and she has also built in the nacho family. Again, those nachos, they stick out because of the texture on them, and I think that some of the hats and different lines on there may have made those pretty easy for Hannah to build out. She has that sign. She has a big chunk of the sun. She has 3/4 of the border built, except for the bottom. The bottom border is going to come in last for a lot of puzzlers, but she might be in the lead at this point with just how much she has together. Really, really phenomenal puzzling going on here. We can see Emma Quirky also has the full border. Those chilies are built in. That boat has flamingos. Another bird sighting. Congrats. The orange sign and the yellow sign are built, and I think she has the top of Burger Man's hat. So piece count wise, I think Hannah's ahead here, but she's doing great. You can see Inga flying in here as well. I think that's a full border, so really hard to get that sand border in. She has the boat, that sun, and the orange and the orange sign built in. This is gonna be really, really exciting, folks. Fotini has the boat flamingos building down into the top of the chili heads, has that orange sign squared away. You can see that as puzzlers keep moving forward, the shift in where their piles are and how things look real busy and mixed up starts to thin out over time. Freya initially had a big chunk of pieces all mixed in closer to the middle, now has the side borders built out, has the lower part of that sunset and the sign, and that line across to the boat as well into the flamingos. Really, really phenomenal stuff. Yeah, you can see Hannah using both hands at the same time to try to get pieces in. She's using her left hand kind of like to toss a piece to her right to put it in exactly where she wants it to go. But Hannah is flying on this puzzle right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave Hannah
have a lot of people to watch.
Going to leave Hannah up there a bit longer. Then we have Inka K from Finland, Eva from Czechia, Jana from Czechia. No, sorry, Jana R is from Latvia. Then we have Jana from Czechia and Jana from Germany. So we have four Janas participating today. I really like sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just really like what Eva says, Eva Roskiskova. She says, I think the puzzle community in Czechia is great. Our girls are world champions. And I have a best friend, Aliska. We are puzzling together in pair competitions at the Worlds, EJJ, and Czechia competitions, and now we prepare mystery puzzles for each other. We love EJJ and your surprises. And she's very excited to try the solo competition with 1,000 pieces, and she's hoping for a colourful and cute puzzle. So I hope this meets your expectations, Eva.
Very, very well done. That's great. It's always good to have a buddy that can bag a puzzle for you, so that way you can get comfortable with not knowing what's coming down the pipeline. That's always one of the most difficult things to prep for when you're in your puzzling practice. And I'm glad you got a buddy that'll do that for you. Inka has almost a full sunset. Toucan is locked in, that line across from sign to boat, left to right, and is building out the top of Burger Man's sombrero hat here. Really, really good clip for Inka. Eva also has those chilies built out on the lower right, the boat and the flamingo to boat, and is now getting that orange sign built through. You can see that she has all of her pieces right in the middle, so she has easy access and can sort of pull from that central pile to where they want to go. Hopefully she's going to be able to push through and not get hung up in the box too badly. But she's on a really, really strong clip. We could see Jana has both the chilies built and locked in, the top of Burger Man's head, and is going for the sign as well. And Jana, we have sort of the GoPro zoom in view. It looks like she has most of that border built in, and I think that orange sign, some of the boat, and is either working on some of the chilies or burger hand. And then Jana F, that line from left to right, a favorite for a lot of the puzzlers here, from sign to sun to boat. Also has a lot of the upper part of the sunset. The toucan and the flamingos are locked in. And I think she's going to try to get rid of the rest of these orange pieces while she's down there and start building in on those chilies.
Yeah,
really great stuff. And we're only, to remind people, we're only about 45 minutes into this. And the fact that so many people are making this much headway is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how people are going, and just to see, at 40 minutes, how much progress people have made. Everyone's found a good, different sections to work on. And, we've seen people have been practicing on Instagram. People have been, posting their times for 1,000 piece puzzles and, training for this. I'm really happy to see that. So we have
absolutely
Jana Lena from Germany, Jesse from Netherlands, Jonathan from the UK, Julia from Austria, and Julie from Ireland.
Yeah, and as we come up on about 46 minutes here, that fatigue is going to start setting in, and if you're not used to that like long haul marathon of 1,000-piece puzzle, your body can start hurting a little bit. Somebody in the chat pointed out, Jules pointed out that you need good back stamina, and yeah, you want to be able to protect your back as you're going through, because if you start hurting early, it's gonna take the rest of the puzzle to get to you. But Jana's has that almost the full border complete. Looks like the sombrero of Burger Man, and is starting to plow through on the boat. Go, get your hands moving. We're rooting for you. Jesse is doing a really cool thing, has almost split the puzzle into two halves and has done almost the entire top half. So we have the boat to sign line, has the sunset built in with the toucan and a lot of that sky, except for that upper left corner. And I think that they're starting to it looks like they're doing a little bit of fill in some of that sky and tree region, while also pulling for those flamingos and then working down from there. Really cool tactic. Jonathan,
we just saw him take apart his border and clear the space, clear all the extra green out, just so he has a clean area. So that's also a good point that he made his working space cleaner. Get the clutter out.
That's really important. A lot of puzzlers in that position won't make that adjustment and will just try to fight through it a little bit. But here you could see he was like, nope, I'm just going to make a shift and fix it so that way I have more room to do what I need to do. And you can see he's also moving around the entire table. I really love that. If you have the space and you can use it, by all means use it. Don't feel constrained if you don't have to be. Really like that. Has that top border. The boats are built in. Julia doing a great job as well. Has the sign, full border done in boat, and we can see Julia Workman getting that boat built in and the sign. Julia Workman doing some work right now. Absolutely love it. These puzzlers are doing a great job. We're 48 minutes into this, so make sure to cheer on the puzzlers that you enjoy and root for, and and even if you don't know them, give them a little shout out in the chat. Really love to see it. We have some shouts for Quinta as well here.
So, we have Karen from USA, Karen Pucalo, not Karen Puzzles.
USA!
Then we have Kirsten K from Germany, Kim G from Germany, Laura from Hungary, Lean from Denmark, and Lenka from Slovakia.
And Karen, I'm not sure exactly where in the USA she's from, but it's either 4 a.m. or 1 a.m. where she's at. Same with Andrea Pang. We're all fighting the early hours. Doing a really good job here. Has 3/4 of that border built in, that boat going. We see Kirsten K has a lot of that boat, some holes to fill in, so that way it doesn't sink, but is going to bring that boat up above the sea level. Really solid stuff. Kim G, it looks like, has the boat, the flamingo, and the sign. That's going to be a favorite for a lot of people. And just keep on moving. I know that there's a lot of space out. It looks like she's pulled those edges. So group them, if you're able to group them together a little bit, so that way you're able to lock in likes or see the dividing lines across the board. Laura Dora has a lot of this top puzzle built in. We can't see the bottom part because of the camera angle, but she has the full sun. She has the top border almost fully locked in. A lot of those trees are built out. The tree line is going to be tricky because it's split on opposite sides of the puzzle. But folks that either get them in early and then split, or use get back and forth really quickly are going to have a fun time with that. We can see Len has I think a lot of the right hand corner done. That sunset built in, is using a puzzle board to kind of jump off. You can see over time puzzlers are going to start leaning on the table a little bit more as fatigue starts to set. And down here we have Lenka. Lenka doing a fabulous job. We have full border, almost full border. I think there's only one or two pieces missing on that. We have the signed boat line, flamingos. We have fully connected jalapenos. Burger Man has made his appearance here in this puzzle. We have Sunset and Toucan. She's doing a really, really great job here. Lenka is flying right now, and it's really gonna be a game of who can fill in some of those gaps.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically done all the main features of the puzzle, and then there's like the background of the sky left and a lot of the sand. She hasn't done the tortillas yet, the tortilla chips. But yeah, making amazing progress. Really exciting to see what Lenka's doing. So I've also on screen we have Linda from the Netherlands, Lynn Merita from Norway, Lisa from Denmark, Lynn from Belgium, and Martia from the Netherlands.
Yeah, somebody in the chat mentioned that Lenka says that she speeds 500s because they're common, but she prefers 1000s. And I think that's pretty common in the EU. A lot of folks start out on the thousands and then kind of wean themselves off into the 500 land. And I tell a lot of the US players, you need to get more thousands in your diet because it's like lifting weights, going from the thousands into the 500s. It makes your life a little bit easier. And Lenka is doing a really, really solid job here flying through. Linda has both of those chilies built in and going into the flamingos, has the sign built out and has done some mini sorting. So I'm excited to see how Linda does whenever she gets into Nacho Family, because she's done the outlines of things really, really well, and is moving. Lynn has almost the full border complete. It looks like it just needs to get locked in a little bit, and is doing the outline of that sun really, really well done, getting that boat going. As we come into the 52-minute mark, Lisa is also got the boats and those chili peppers, and is so close to locking in that sunset line to the orange sign. You can see this with some puzzlers sometimes where they'll work on a couple of different sections, and it's so close to getting locked in. And whenever you hyper focus on one zone, you don't necessarily see the connections across. But I think she's going to be able to do it. We had the toucan locked in, so. Hopefully she gets the rest of that line built in. Lynn doing a great job right across, and there's the big connection for Lisa. I'm so excited for that. I was I was breathing heavy there for a second. Lynn has that top border almost fully complete and is going in on those chilies real hard. And Marta has working from the inside out, again, a puzzler that forewent the border altogether, saving those extra 126 pieces of touching. But Marta has the full sunset, the line from sign to boat, those chilies, the red chilies bottom, and almost has Nacho Family fully complete, as well as Burger Man. So she is absolutely flying right now. And it's a little difficult to tell who's in the lead unless there's like a major difference. But because puzzlers have so many different gaps and strategies here, it's hard to pick a leader right now.
Yeah, so we have Madara from Latvia, Magdalena. I can't see where Magdalena is from. Maybe she forgot to register. Then we have Maria TB from Sweden, and Mariam from the Netherlands, and Marie from Norway. So we did start with N, and we're up to the M's. We have a few more people to go to introduce, and then we'll bring in Ellen to tell us about Sunshine Puzzles. Yes, go ahead, Jim.
Oh no, it's fun. We had a couple of shout outs for Quinta in the chat. Yeah, by all means, shout out who you're rooting for. Fruzy pointed out that had never bought puzzles with less than 1,000 pieces. And it's really fun to see people's puzzle backgrounds. Did you start on thousands? Did you start on 500s? Where did you come from? I think folks that start on thousands have a little bit of an advantage because you have an easier time looking through that pile and figuring out what it is that you want to pull from it. Madara has almost the signed up boat line. It looks like she's doing Burger Head. We're about to see a big lock. Get it in. Do it. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Congrats. We have the sunset. We have a burger hat locked in and is now placing the boat as well. Magdalene has that signed a boat line, the flamingos down into the chilies and up into the sunset, has Burger Man and is now working on Nacho Family. You can see that she picks up a couple of pieces of the nachos and then puts them down right where they're going to go. I think the lines inside of Nacho Family makes it a little bit easier. It looks intimidating early on because there's so much of this yellow splotchy nacho-ness, but once you really get in, you can cheese through it pretty quickly. Maria has the boat line and is on this oval, white oval table, and that might be a little tricky around the edges because square things on round edges might be a little awkward. But she's doing really well. You can see those chilies are starting to come together. Those bright red chilies. Really, really excited for her. Miriam has the chilies in, the boats in, the orange sign in. Keep on pushing. I know that we're coming up on the 56-minute mark, and this is where your body starts going, okay, gotta push through it. But you really, really want to keep going. And speed puzzling, as soon as you start feeling that that little pang of, okay, take your foot off the gas, that's when you want to lean onto it, focus in, blink a few times, shake it off, and then keep on moving. So that way you don't fall into the slog. Marie has that full border built in, the boat going, the orange sign. I think she has some of the chilies, some of the chili heads pulled and starting to build as well.
All right, the last 6 participants. So we have today we have 84 people participating. So we have reached Marie from Norway, Mary from Germany, Melanie from Switzerland, Miriam from Austria, Mona from Germany, and Mooney from Germany.
All right, rounding out our batch. Marie has those chilies, the boats, has done some sorting ahead of time. You can see that I think that's the Nacho Family over there, or Sunset over there on the right. Some of the Nacho Family starting to come together. Mary Winkler has that 3/4 of the border about done, almost the full connection from sign to boat across the middle there, and is going to have to start building up and down. But you can see that she has her pieces on her right and is then building down into the middle. Really, really great stuff. Melanie, we have a big collage of different colors. We're zoomed in, a really good look at some of those different pieces. For those of you wondering, could I do 1,000? Take a look at Melanie's. Take a close look at Melanie's camera right now and say, can I distinguish things in this puzzle right now? And if you can, go for it. But this is what you're looking at for about an hour, for at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, Melanie, if it's possible, can you? I don't know if you can adjust your camera angle. We can't actually see what you're building. We can only see some pieces, or to put your camera a little bit further behind. Yeah, that's better. Thank you so much.
Miriam, it looks like we have boats, we have Burger Head, we have signs. There's a little bit of split in a couple of different places, but as long as you're moving, you're getting things done. And you can see that rainbow, that rainbow dispersion of the main pile, which allows easy access, especially on these big puzzles, important. You can see Mona standing, getting the rest of that boat line in. There's a real strict organization to how Mona's puzzling right now. Has those chilies, almost the line from sign to boat built in. The flamingos are in. A couple of little gaps on Nacho Land. And Mooney doing a really, really fantastic job. Has almost the full sky. Done. The boats are in. The flamingos are in. Everybody's doing very well here. There's gaps in some of Mooney's puzzle, but she's doing very, very well here as we come in on the 59-minute mark. And reminder, it's hard to stay this focused for this long on anything. So the fact that everybody's going so fast, so hard is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really thrilled for all of you. So if you're in the chat right now, root for a couple of people. We have some shout outs for Emma. Mary is getting a shout out. SJ thinks that Magdalene is Austrian. and points out that he was doing only thousands in speed puzzling for a while, which is great. We have a shout out for Nana. Everybody's just go right now.
Yeah, so let's have a chat with the creator of this puzzle, Ellen. Feel free to turn your camera on, and yeah, then we'll see how our speed puzzlers are getting on. So welcome, Ellen.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about.
I'm so honored to be here.
Yeah, tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to create sunshine puzzles.
Yeah, I'm a puzzler since childhood, and I love puzzles. Like everybody of you does too. So, and I think it was like 10 years ago when I thought, oh, maybe I should create some puzzles. I come from the fashion industry, from designing, so I have a little bit of experience in designing stuff. So, but having my own puzzle was a dream, and and due to Corona, COVID. I saw all the great puzzles from the US, and I said, oh my God, in Germany we have only castles and landscapes. And this was the beginning. I started creating in my mind some ideas how a perfect puzzle for me should look like. And this is when I created, I think 5 years ago, my first design, and put it in my desk for more than 2 years. And then 2022, I went to the audience on Instagram, and showed it, and started in Kickstarter with my first 3 designs. And that's how Sunshine Puzzles came to life, with the help of the community and the support of the community. And I'm really blessed that it could grow. And now Mr. Bergerman is here since last year. And
that's so awesome. I didn't know the backstory. I didn't know that this started through a Kickstarter campaign.
Yes, it was a Kickstarter campaign because I was unsure, because you have to go to production, and this is also a lot of money you have to go in forward. And so I thought, maybe let's start a Kickstarter campaign and see if the people love my designs, like them, because they were so different from what we have seen in Germany so far. And I was like, okay, let's try it. And I showed it to my Instagram community, and everybody was like, oh my God, it's nice, it's lovely. And I really had the support, and this Kickstarter was successful. And I said, okay, let's go. Let's see how far I can go.
Well, that makes you the perfect interviewee then for the theme of community. I'm part of the community. That's why I went to the World Jigsaw Puzzle competition last year to Valladolid, because I feel this. I love puzzling. And I try every puzzle to be the perfect puzzle and a really fun puzzle to have. So that is my my goal, that everybody enjoys Sunshine Puzzles and have a good time. And like me, I want to have a good time when I puzzle. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
So tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this puzzle. What I mean, I inherently know what makes a burger man fun. Like that just makes sense to me. But what made this, what helped you bring this to life?
Yeah, Mr. Bergerman came to me in my mind. I think it's November, over 1 year ago, so November 23, and he came to me when I was really depressed, that I had no idea, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have any good ideas for puzzles right now, and it's November, it's dark in Germany. And then Mr. Bergerman, just one evening, he came into my life, and it was like, okay, I love this little burger, and he is having adventures. He started with visiting Candyland, the new shop in his town, then went to the gym, had a good evening at the pub. And then I thought, okay, Mr. Bergerman needs to go on vacation. Everybody loves vacation. And I said, okay, Mr. Bergerman, where does he want to go? Maybe to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico, so I I thought, okay, let's go to Cabo, have a good time there. And so, yeah, this is how Mr. Bergerman went to vacation. Yeah, and this was the idea. And then I thought, okay, let's have a good time at the bar at the beach, and that's Cabana de Playa. That's the cabin at the beach. And then I thought, okay, maybe he joins a day on a yacht. We all want to have a day on a yacht, I guess. For me, it would be a perfect day. And then it's the sunset and the toucan. Yeah, and it all come piece to piece together. Yeah.
I absolutely love how you just had this one nugget of an idea and built an entire world out of it. That's really, really beautiful.
Thank you. And it's always my first impression when I make a picture. I think, okay, what scene do I like, and what would be cool for a puzzle? And then it came to life. And I think, okay, let's a cabin, maybe the toucan or the sunset. And then I took all these things together and arranged it and tried to have a good puzzle. Yeah.
It's really lovely. Do you, whenever you're making puzzles, it seems like you tend to do fantastical ideas in real locations. Have you like been to this beach before and sort of thought about it that way?
No, I think a beach, and what scene I would prefer when I go to holiday. So, and what Mr. Bergerman would love. And if you know the office puzzle from Mr. Bergerman, there you can see the first design of this Cabana de Playa. I made a first design and put this as a small picture inside the other puzzle. So there you can see what I had also in mind for the scene, but what I choose for the actual design. So this is also some things I try, some hints in placing in other puzzles. Yeah.
It's really, really great. Now, do you play test your puzzles before they go out? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you think our puzzlers are getting on here from the bird's eye view of the creator?
When I see it, like they are speeding, so it's great. It's just amazing how far they go and how everybody is starting in a different way here. Yeah, it's really. I'm not a speed puzzler. You know, I'm a slow puzzler. For me, it's really relaxing. And when I see this, how 84 people are puzzling in such different ways. Someone is starting with the edges, and some are with the Cabana de Playa sign, and it's so amazing. I'm thrilled. I'm sitting here and watching, and it makes me speechless. It's so amazing, and I love this design. And yeah, and right now I see Alina with the sunset, and I love it. It's so great. Yeah,
it's great. Well, and you have a couple of people. Jules in the chat is saying this is a great puzzle, Ellen. Perfect picture for speed puzzling for those looking for something more straightforward in a 1000-piece. How does that kind of comment make you feel?
Yeah, I have no words. I am really, yes, you can see I'm also nervous being here, and it's so much fun, and it's the support of the puzzle community is so great, and it really, it's a strong feeling right now for me to be here and to see this, and I have no words.
Well, we're excited to have you, and I think this is a really beautiful puzzle, and you can see people are chugging through it really well. So I think you're going to have a lot of people saying that this is like their favorite 1000-piece. I think we might even have some people on here who haven't done a 1000-piece puzzle or too many of them, and so it's really inspiring what you're getting going here. So I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but you say that you're not a like speed puzzler, but I think that if you're doing the speed puzzling, you're speed puzzling. What time have you gotten on this puzzle if you've done it before?
I'm doing it not in one round. I always puzzle at the night for like 1 or 2 hours. So I have never done it in one straight going through. So I really can't tell my times because I'm really not a speed puzzler. Yeah, I think I would need 3 to 4 or 5 hours in total. When I see like they are, I mean, how far we are, 1 hour and 10 minutes, or I don't know how, yeah, like this, and everybody is almost, some are almost finished. It's crazy for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really phenomenal. We're coming up on the hour 10 mark, and we have so many people that are coming in on the close of this 1,000-piece puzzle. It's really amazing. Like we can see Hannah is absolutely flying. Has almost the entire top half done except for some of the tree. Just needs to do the lower sand region. Has the Nacho family totally done. Victor, almost the inverse of Hannah, has the sand, almost the whole sand region done, is now building up into the sky, needs to get that top border locked in. We can see Martha has the outlines of everything built in for the bottom, needs to get that bottom border built in. I think it's going to be a little tough because there's some duplication and might be a little bit of force fit there. Inga is doing a lovely job. Has this all locked in. The tree line is going to be tough for a lot of puzzlers because it's split on opposite sides. I can't quite see the name in the lower. I think that's Lenka. Has a really, really good outline of the total lower sand and is going to be able to fly through that bottom part once she starts doing the shape work down there. Inga's doing lovely, and Kiara is also flying here. Really, really cool. When you were designing this puzzle, were you thinking about difficulty in terms of for speed puzzlers, or just in terms of, is this going to be a fun puzzle for people to do on 1,000?
Yeah, it's I prefer to say it's really a fun for everyone and not for speed puzzling. So speed puzzling is not really on my mind when I'm designing. I want to have a great experience. And when you can speed puzzling too, it's great. So when it's also perfect for speed puzzling. But when I design a puzzle, I think, how fun would it be? Is it not too hard? It's so not too easy. I try to put some parts in where I think, okay, this is easy and this is a more tougher part. And yeah, that is what I try to create. And as I already said, I have the image and what I think in my mind would be a good scene. And then I start creating and putting the different levels inside the puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I did the puzzle...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so when I did the puzzle, I really appreciated that it was designed as a puzzle, because sometimes you're doing an image and you know this was not designed as a puzzle in mind, and like with a lot of empty space. But here it's like, even when you get to the sand goes really fast because first of all, you have the black legs, the lines of the legs, and then there are seashells placed at different positions. Plus there's a gradient. You have dark brown towards the shore and then lighter towards the border. And so you can pick up a piece and kind of roughly know where it is. It's not like it's like, oh, it could go in 20 places. So that's something I did appreciate, and you could feel like, okay, somebody did plan this as a puzzle and thought about that. There's something interesting in every area. It's not just like a kind of waste of space.
Yeah, that's really what I have in mind, because as I'm doing a lot of puzzles from other companies too, I have a lot of puzzles where I had frustration very high. So like when the sky is only gray. So I did once a skyline of New York City and the sky was only gray and the buildings were gray. And this was really a frustrating puzzle for me. I did it and I was happy when it's finished, but I don't want to have this. Sunshine puzzles should be fun and you enjoy it and you really like it and you have a good time. And I don't by myself like these puzzles when they are frustrating. So yeah, that's why I always try to have colors and beautiful scenes. Yeah. So because I don't like it to be frustrated on a puzzle and put it away and I don't want to do it anymore. and things like this. So yeah.
Well, I don't think some of our speedsters here are frustrated with it. I think everybody's having fun. You can see as we come into just over an hour and 14, a lot of puzzlers are coming up on the close here. Victor is I think he only has the top edge and then some fill in from the trees as well to go here. Marta doing a really fantastic job. Might be hitting a little bit of a slowdown in that sand region. Is that the part that you thought might be a little difficult for folks, Ellen?
Yeah. The sand part,
Okay.
I think it's the most difficult part.
Yeah, and Victor may have started with that harder part and is now moving on to the easy chunk. So we might see him accelerate through here. Who's in the upper left here? Is that Nirvana? Inga has some of the sand region and those split trees as well left to do. Kiara flying through the center of that puzzle. She really made a pushback here from where she was. And Emma Quirky has that sky region moving down into the sand. She might be slightly behind some of the other leaders, but we'll see if she can catch up. She has some great shape work skills that are going to be able to push through here. In this puzzle, Ellen, what is your favorite part of it?
I love the sunset most and the toucan.
Me too. I saw the toucan and I went, birds. Let's go birds. I was just super struck by it, and it's a great silhouette.
I was really thinking about making a bird in this picture, and the flamingos I love also, but then I thought the toucan came as the last piece of the puzzle, or the last detail. It was like, really, okay, I want to have a bird, but what kind of bird? And I said, oh, a toucan. I ever wanted to do a toucan, and I think it's really nice with the sunset. The setting is great. So this is my favorite part. And Mr. Bergerman, of course, and the mariachi band.
I really like Mr.
great.
Bergerman and the red hot chili peppers. Why did you make them to be like, are they supposed to be rappers? Like what was...
Yes, kind of rappers. And as you can see, Hot B, they are big fans of Mr. Bergerman.
Oh, that's what it is, Hot B.
The
okay.
Hot B.
We have a lot of puzzlers getting pretty close here. Victor may be down to like the last 50 pieces or so, just filling out the rest of that sky, some of those green chilies, and then the rest of those trees. You can see that he did a big shift there to try to get the pieces around, and is going to have a lot of easy access to just blitz those trees inside of there, and has maybe about five or six just plain sky pieces left. Lenka has hit the slowdown in that sand region, maybe losing a little bit of speed, but it's going to be Marta versus Victor here coming up to the finish. Marta picking up a little bit of speed, trying to get those sand pieces in, rotating them in her fingers very rapidly, trying to brute force some of that shape work. Victor is also in that split region, left and right, trying to get those in. This is going to be a bit of a nail biter here.
Yeah.
So, folks in the chat, root for who you think are close.
So, Ellen, thanks so much. We'll chat with you again later. So what we're going to do now, we're going to, I think we're about 5 minutes away or less from the finish. So we'll follow the action, and then we'd love to have a chat with you later on towards the end. And because I have a lot more questions for you. So thanks so much, Ellen, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thank you. See you later.
All right, so Kiara
really
has
exciting.
about less than 30 pieces. Lenka about 40 pieces. I think Kiara's ahead, and I think Martia. I think it's between Kiara and Martia.
Oh wow, yeah, Kiara has only a couple of handfuls of pieces left. Is working on that similar, like, get the last couple of pieces in the bottom down. Marta really getting those sand pieces, and she is flying right now because she only has a couple of those gaps in. She's able to just sink those pieces in, rotate them in. Whatever she picks up is going in right away. She has maybe about 6 pieces left remaining. This is absolutely blazing speed. We're under an hour 20 here, folks. Marta getting those things in. I don't think Kiara's going to be able to catch her. Victor slowing down. Marta accelerating. We are in the last couple of pieces here. You can see her excitement. Her hands are shaking just a little bit, getting those last ones in. Go, 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 go. We're all rooting for you. Does she hit the button? Almost. Only a couple pieces left. There's the done.
Marty done. Wow.
Congratulations, Marta.
1 hour 19 minutes.
Absolutely phenomenal.
That is
Under an
amazing.
hour 19. That is absolutely phenomenal for a first time look on a 1,000-piece puzzle. Ladies and gentlemen, Marta, our EJJ Solo 1000 first place winner. Congratulations. And now we have Kiara coming in hot for our second place finish, I think. I'm not sure any of the other puzzlers are going to be able to catch her at the moment. Fatigue setting in for some folks. Hannah and Victor looking very, very strong here. Victor may have a little bit of an edge. Lenka doing a great job accelerating into the back half here. But Kiara is going to be able to lock in second, I think.
Oh,
And there it is. Oh, congratulations to Kiara.
less than
Another
a minute
finish
behind.
Under an hour 20.
Less than a
Less
minute.
than a minute behind. That is absolutely amazing. Oh wow, this is just absolutely phenomenal. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, folks, but doing 12 and a half pieces per minute for over an hour is just a testament to stamina. It's really, really difficult. Congratulations, Kiara. That was an amazing effort. We can see that that Victor and Hannah are coming in hot. Lenka only has maybe about 2 handfuls of pieces left. I think she's going to be able to brute force this a little bit. Whatever she picks up, if she's able to shape work it, she's going to be able to get that in. It's Lenka versus Hannah L here. Hannah L needs to get the rest of that bottom border built, and then she has a little bit of those tree lines. She might be further behind than it looks. But Lenka trying to accelerate here. Victor struggling a little bit with those trees. You can see that he's flipping the pieces back and forth, kind of bringing them back to where they start after rotating them and trying them. And Lenka, whatever she picks up, she's making it go in somewhere. Really, really phenomenal
Lenka
job
has
here.
been fourth so many times, but I think she's coming in on third. Lenka, you're so close. Get on the podium.
Oh, it's going to be a tight race.
It's going to be close.
Victor may have a lock on what's happening here. You can see he's picking up the pace here a little bit. Lenka accelerating, trying to hold off Victor. It's going to be a race down to the wire here between the two of them. She gets one piece and then another. She's picking up the speed. As more pieces go in, it makes it easier to see where everything's going to go. And I think she's going to be able to lock this in just ahead of Victor. Only got one handful of pieces left. Victor splitting the trees left and right, and she gets it in. Can she get to the finish line? And Lenka hits it.
Well
Third place
done,
finish.
Lenka.
Congratulations, congratulations, Lenka. Absolutely phenomenal. I love Lenka's puzzling. It's really, really a joy
just
to
2
see.
minutes later, Lenka for third. Well done, Lenka.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh, sorry.
I think Victor's
yes, third. Martia first, second Kiara, Lenka third.
absolutely amazing. Congratulations. And Victor's down to maybe, I think, about the last 15 pieces or so in those trees. I'm trying to see who else we have coming up in the slots here. Inga is looking very good. Hannah is going to be hot on Victor's heels. But I think Victor's going to be able to lock up the 4th place slot here. This is really, really phenomenal, folks. And we are I thought I was being optimistic at the 126 line, and way off. These puzzlers are so fast in the EU. It's really, really phenomenal. Ooh. Yeah, Victor getting those trees in. You can see he's leaning on the table. Everybody's starting to feel it after the hour line, trying to get those in. Hannah L, you can see that she slowed down just a little bit, but trying to keep the pace up. It's going to be Inga and Hannah coming in hot for the 5th place slot. Who wants it a little bit more? I'm excited to see what happens, but Victor, maybe about 8 pieces away at this point. Michelle, do we have other people to keep an eye on here? Quinta, I'm gonna bring Andrea back into the fold.
Yeah, Andrea's back, and I'm just checking out who might be coming in, towards a little bit later. So we also have Elodie and Cornelia on the screen, and we had
Victor's
Anime
3 pieces away,
moment.
2, 1, and he gets it. Congratulations, Victor.
Awesome, Victor. 1 hour and 23 minutes.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is phenomenal puzzling to do it that fast for that long. And Hannah's coming in hot. She has maybe about 20 pieces remaining, I think. Might be closer to 25. So apologies. but she's doing very, very well. Inga's doing excellent. I'm going to try to pull up Elodie. Who else do we have?
So Emma is really close. Emma's only a handful away.
Oh wow, go Emma! Emma Quirky coming in hot to the next slot. Gonna pull this up to watch the finish. She has just a little bit of that tree line left. Left and right, you can see that it's kind of split, but she's sinking them very rapidly. Whatever she picks up is going in, and that's what you want to see in the close as we come in towards the end of a puzzle. Is you reach that point of just pure confidence. Whatever you pick up goes in. She has a couple of handfuls left of the tree line. It's her and Inga, I think, coming into the end. Hannah L losing a little bit of speed in the last half here. But Emma is accelerating rapidly coming in. You can see that she's excited. She can smell the end in sight. Her and Inga going piece for piece, left and right. But I think Emma has a little bit of the edge here. She sinks another in that tree line. Now that there's just single piece gaps, she's going to be able to really, really get these ones in. Inga has a few more big splotches down in that sand region, that harder chunk of the puzzle. Hannah L getting that tree line left and right. She's trying to make up a little bit of time, but I don't know if she's going to be able to catch Emma here. Emma's down to maybe about 8 pieces, but so is Hannah. They're going left and right. Emma's down to 8. Their pieces are on the left. She's trying to get them over to the right. They're split in the tree line and down in the chilies. Is she going to be able to catch it? Hannah L only has it in the trees, so she's able to zero in a little bit more. This is going to be really close, actually. Emma getting one more piece in the chili. Hannah picking up the last little bits of trees. They're going to come down to the last couple of pieces here. Hannah's rotating it in her hand as quickly as possible. A few more gaps in that tree line. Emma accelerating into the tree, left, right, trying to get those in. Hannah only has them in the left-hand side of the tree now. I think those chilies are totally done. Emma gets those ones in left, right. Is she going to be able to get it? This is really close. And Emma hits the end button. Congratulations, Emma. Fantastic job. Hannah about 3-4 pieces behind here. Right there it is. Congratulations, Hannah. That was so close. Oh, this is just thrilling puzzling. Very, very well done. Congratulations both to Emma and Hannah. That was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Whew. And now we can see that Inga is coming in hot right behind. And who else do we have on here? I'm trying to shift things around.
So
Jules mentioning I should remember to breathe. There is no breathing in speed puzzling. There's only go. That's the option.
Oh, so I'm just shifting things around a little. So on the screen right now, we have Inga, less than 10 pieces, then Andrea, Astrid, Tobias, Veronica, and Quinta. But it looks like Inga is coming in for the next finish.
Yeah,
So,
Inga's going to be able to finish up that sand. I'm real excited for her. Tobias has some pieces scattered around. I know I should have my Tobias's #1 fan hat on. One of these days I'll make it. You can see that the thousand pieces starting to take its toll on our puzzlers. You can see the physicality starting to slow down a little bit as we come at the hour 27 mark.
and Tobias always stands
starting
up.
to feel a little drained.
Tobias always stands up. So many are sitting down, but I see Veronica standing up towards as we get to the end here. She's only got the greens left.
Oh, let me grab Veronica's screen. But Inga is coming in on those last pieces. You can see that she's putting a couple of pieces in her left hand and then sinking them in the right, and she's going to be able to grab that slot. Congratulations, Inga! Very, very well done.
So Inga,
Phenomenal
and
job.
we're only at 1 hour 27. So, and we're gonna have Veronica's gonna finish. So we'll probably have 8 finishes in under 90 minutes.
It's absolutely phenomenal. And I know that a lot of people watching right now think, wow, this is amazing. These speedsters are making it look easy. It is by no means a case where an average person can walk in and knock out a 1,000-piece puzzle in under an hour and a half. A lot of these folks have been practicing like crazy, training like mad, doing tons and tons of puzzles, but they are so good they make it look easy. Veronica coming in on the last couple of handfuls of pieces. She's also working on that tree line. I think there's just a couple of big splotches there, but she's going to be able to push and try to lock in the next slot. I think we have our top 7 at this point, Michelle. Is that right?
Yes, Inga was 7th.
Okay, so Veronica might be able to lock in the top 8th slot here. We can see Astrid working in on that sand region. Needs to get that bottom border built in, finishing up the Nocto family, and then is going to have the lower part of the chili of the 2 hot chili legs. Tobias in that sand region has some of the trees left, and Andrea Pang has mostly the upper region of tree and sky remaining. A couple of splotches here in the chilies, in the green chilies, those split between the upper left and right corners, and then that chili line. But whenever Andrea nears the end, she starts picking up the pace. It's kind of it's really fun to watch. But Veronica, trying to figure out where these last couple of pieces go, just rotate it in your hand and keep sinking it. We're all excited for you. Keep rooting for them. If you're in the chat, cheer people on, because as that hour-and-a-half line comes in, you really want to push. So give people a shout out in the chat. Inga has lots of rooting, but she did finish. And Veronica hits the button. Congratulations, Veronica. Great job. A top 10 finish in the EJJ's first solo 1,000 piece puzzle here. Really phenomenal job. Congratulations, Veronica. Elodie doing a really great job here as well. We can see Astrid coming in on just the bottom right corner, those chunks of those chili legs. She might be able to accelerate and take and overtake Tobias here. And Andrea forcing in that tree line as quickly as she can. Quinta is also on screen here. Quinta's also on screen doing a fantastic job getting those tree lines in. She's bouncing around, getting some of the burger in. But this is going to be Tobias, Astrid, and Andrea coming up next, I think, unless somebody's going to slide in here. Oh, who's in the lower middle there?
Anime is getting close.
Anime. Ooh. We might have a real fight for the top 10 here. Let me pull this one up. Ooh, there we go. It takes me a second. Anime doing a fantastic job. Has maybe about 35 pieces left. So Anime and Astrid are going to go piece for piece here. Anime has a little bit more of singular gaps throughout her puzzle. I think she's going to be able to push through and get that lower part of the burger in the trees. Astrid only has that corner and then some of the bottom edge, that brute force of sort of samey colors. I think Anime might be able to overtake Astrid here. Both of them starting to feel the end closing in and hopefully get a little bit of a speed boost coming up as we cross the hour and 31:30 mark. Astrid starts to get the rest of those chilies in. You can see that she's pushing to get the rest of that color in. Anime picking a handful of pieces up in her left hand, tossing them into the right. She only has that lower left-hand corner remaining, and those are all dark pieces that have some pretty distinct texture on it, so hopefully she's going to be able to push it. Astrid also picking up the pace. You can see that she's getting that light sand in, and then trying to sink it left and up to the top. It's a little hard to tell if both of these puzzlers are doing image puzzling or table solving, but I think Anime is doing a lot more table solving right now. I think you can see she's being very deliberate in which pieces she picks up and then sinks before she moves on. There's like this brief moment of which one do I want to go? That one. And then she grabs it and sinks it rather than kind of haphazardly grabbing them. But I think she's going to pull ahead of Astrid. Anime down to like the last 5 pieces here, and she might be able to lock up our 9th place slot. Maybe down to 3, 2, 1, and Anime comes into the end, accelerating to the end, and gets another position. Congratulations, Anime. That was absolutely amazing. Really cool to see the stamina kick in right at the end and allow you to accelerate in the end. Yeah, Catherine Beck points out that this is an exercise in stamina. Absolutely. 1,000-piece puzzle, you have to be able to go hard for a very long time. It's real easy to get a burst of speed initially, and then that fatigue sets in over time. Folks watching Andrea, keep in mind she started at 1 in the morning, so right now she's puzzling at about 2:30 in the morning. So if you think you're a little disoriented in your time trying to do this puzzle, imagine trying to doing it whenever you're sleep deprived on top of that. So Andrea's doing absolutely amazing here. You can see Astrid trying to get that bottom bit of sand in. It's a little wacky. I'm wondering if she might end up doing a shape sort here just to make life a little bit easier for her, but she's being a little bit deliberate. As time drags on in these thousands, it's real easy to lose track of how long you've been working on certain sections and sort of getting sucked into certain regions. Vicky is down to the last 60 pieces or so, according to Sandra, doing really well. Tobias, you can see that he's kind of hit the time wall here. And is trying to brute force that sand region. That's where a lot of our puzzlers are going to hit the toughest section. Even Ellen, the creator of this puzzle, pointed it out that sand is going to be the hardest part. Andrea coming in on just that tree line. I think Astrid's going to be able to keep her current lead unless Andrea really puts on the gas here. But Astrid's kind of slowing down. I think she only has the bottom edge left, which maybe is about 25 pieces or so, maybe a little more, a little less, but doing a fantastic job here. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. There we go. And who all else do we have on the screen here?
Yeah, so Astrid is really close. She's just doing the bottom borderline. She'll be done in a minute, and very closely followed by Tobias. But yeah, it's interesting. The two spaces where people seem to end up is either the sand or the palm trees at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it kind of makes sense to me that the palm trees would be one of the last things to work in, because it's a same color, a same texture, but it's split. And you can see that several of our top puzzlers also needed to go back and fill in the green chilies as well as those palm trees. I think Astrid's going to be able to get the last bit of this bottom edge in and lock in a top 10 slot here. She just needs to keep the acceleration just needs to keep her foot on the pedal here. Coming into the very end, she gets 1, 2, 3, sinks it. Congratulations, Astrid. Very well done. Getting this finished in under an hour and 36 minutes. Absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'd like to take this opportunity to chat with our first place finisher today, Matja van der Meer from the Netherlands. I'll just find you. Hello and
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, I think you have a lot of, probably that's one advantage of being in the Netherlands. You have a lot of experience puzzling 1,000 pieces. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't know. Before I did any speed puzzling, I just always made 1,000 piece puzzles. So I didn't really do any 500s before I started speed puzzling. And then when I started speed puzzling, I guess still I did go into the 500s more, but maybe that previous kind of advantage of usually doing thousands helped. But no, it was really nice.
Yeah, are you familiar with this brand?
No, I never heard of it, but it's really, really cool. I really like the colors, and it's really nice to sort things out, which is mostly what I like to do. So really cool.
No, it was really phenomenal to watch you puzzle. How I know I was watching, but walk us through what you were thinking as you were doing this beast of a puzzle.
So I when I started, I immediately thought I was doing everything wrong, because as I said, I tend to sort things. So I think I started sorting the green, the red, started the sign, the flamingos, and in between that I started already making the boat. And then I saw all those things of the sombrero hat. So I also was making that. So before I even had all the pieces flipped, I was doing like already 6 things at the same time. But I guess in the end it kind of worked out. So then I guess it was really easy from the boat I could work on the flamingos, connect those to the jalapeno peppers, and then kind of start on the other side with the sign. So maybe it's always a gamble if the sorting pays off or not, but I guess in this time it did.
Yeah, I think this is one of those puzzles where, because the colors are, and congrats, real quick pause, congrats to Tobias, my one-sided bromance. I'm really excited for you. It's always exciting to see does the sorting pay off or not. I think this is one of those puzzles where, because there are real discrete sections, and they're relatively small enough, you can get that little bit of a bump. But you were mentioning that you felt like you were making a mistake early working on so many different things. How did you adjust for that moment where you felt like you made a goof?
Yeah, I think I just kind of accepted it, and then but I sorted out the green, but I think in the end that it was one of the last things I did. So in the end, I could have just pulled them out from the full stack. So in that sense, you kind of lose time by putting it all to the side. But I was just like, let's commit to it now, because if you stop halfway through, you have everything lying everywhere. So I just decided to kind of stick with it, and then in between already make the boat and stuff. So I already had some pieces together, because of course the sorting takes more time than
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. What was the easiest part and the most difficult part of this puzzle for you?
Ooh. I think when I started the red jalapenos, I was like, okay, these are actually kind of hard to put them together. So then I also decided to push that, not to do the green ones and kind of leave that for the last, like the green, the palm trees and the jalapenos. And I really like doing the sunset, which I did only very later on, but I really liked it. Everything was so nicely gradiented. So also with the sand and with the sky, it all looks like one solid color, but if you look closer, you can actually see a lot of things happening. So that's what I really like, that even if you have one solid color, it's still kind of easy to kind of figure out where they go in the puzzle.
No, it's really, really neat to hear your process on that. I'm sure that a lot of people watching or doing a 1,000-piece puzzle right now are wondering, how do you keep up the pace over such a long period of time? What goes through your head?
I think it's also been said that this puzzle feels like it's made for speed puzzling, because usually when I make a 1,000-piece puzzle, when I get stuck, it it slows down and everything, and it's really hard to get into it again. But with this, there was always a next section to work on, always some color that was easy to distinguish, and because I could keep that flow, it was I didn't feel like it took so long actually. So I think that's really helping. So if you get stuck, it's really hard to get into it, I think, again.
No, that's some great advice. Kind of shifting gears a little bit. What does the puzzle community mean to you?
Yeah, it's really nice. So actually, yesterday we had in the Netherlands we had the International Puzzle Day kind of get together. It was really nice because it was one of the first times to actually meet all the other Dutch puzzlers like Inge and other people, which I only saw through these jigsaw jams and on Instagram, and then finally meeting them in real life and then making puzzles together. It's really, really, really nice, because in my own friends, I kind of drag them along, but they're not really into speed puzzling or puzzling in general. So to really have these people that also actually enjoy it, you can kind of bond over and talk about tactics and those kinds of things. It's really nice, because otherwise it kind of feels like you're just doing it on your own, and now you kind of do it together.
That's so fun. So you had sort of like online puzzle people that you were trying to follow, and then became friends. How did you connect with some of these puzzler all-stars? Were you nervous about it, or were you just like, yeah, I'll say hi, see what happens?
Yeah, it's sometimes through Instagram, you just, when I post something, or when I won the first Jigsaw Jam, and you get a message, and then you can kind of connect. And it's also, if they make the first step, of course, it's easier to go back to start a conversation. And then at the Dutch nationals, I met a few people, that was really nice. So little by little, you just start to get to know these people. But indeed, it sometimes feels a bit weird to just send someone an Instagram message of, hey, you're doing great, or something like that. It feels kind of weird if you haven't really met these people. But that's also very nice that people are just also very open to that, because at some point on Instagram, I posted a story that I was kind of figuring out my lighting situation, and then I got like from 3 different people that I've never even like had any conversation with whatsoever. I got these tips of what to do with that, so that's also really nice. That it's very easygoing, and you can just send someone a message, kind of.
That's
Yeah.
so fun that you just all you had to do was say, "Hey, I'm thinking about this," and then the puzzle community was like, "We got you."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What was the best lighting tip that you got from people just randomly?
Yeah, so mostly it's like putting your lights towards your wall, so it's not directly shining on your table. But then my wall was too far away, so that didn't work out. And then actually Victor gave me some advice about like putting the lamp kind of next to you and making sure like the light isn't kind of reflecting in your eye, which is then you kind of have to play with that a little bit to just make sure that kind of your light's on the sides and not directly on your puzzle, I guess, and you're not actually looking into it. But it's always a struggle.
When you make Instagram posts, do you sometimes make them with the intent of I hope that some really cool puzzler sees this and says hi?
Sometimes, I guess, yeah. It depends. Like usually, I mean, you do it to kind of share with the community, and it's always nice to get interaction. But I mean, everything is fine, you know. It doesn't really matter to me that much. But it's for example, with the lighting, I was like, oh, I'll put this up and see what happens, kind of. But I know it's just nice to see all the different posts of people making puzzles, and so nice to see how everyone's getting on and what people are doing. That's really nice, I think.
No, it's that's so fun for the edification of people that are watching. If you got a random Instagram message from people that were like, "Hey, I really like your puzzling," would you talk back with them, or would that be a little awkward?
Depends. Usually, when it's a puzzle account, I always kind of have like message something back and stuff. But if it would be like really kind of, I don't know, sketchy account, you never know. But in general, if it's like if it looks fine, I just respond. But I also got this. Sometimes I got another message. I was like, maybe not. Usually, I'll send something back.
What's your protocol, or what's your ideas around meeting with puzzlers in person? Like, do you try to go, we'll all hang out at this event together, or do you try to set up puzzle swaps? Like, how do you start building those ties outside of being online?
It's kind of starting off now with finally the Dutch we have kind of this Dutch speed puzzling community starting up, and so then we actually got this event, for example, yesterday, but now also with the team I have now for my world championships, we start to kind of practice together, but it's mostly the things that are organized already. So these events like the preliminaries for the Dutch nationals, or these events that are getting organized, and it's all kind of starting to happen now, because I think last year there was nothing really happening very much. It was not as well known, and you really see that kind of rising and being organized more often, which is really nice. But I haven't organized anything myself so far, no.
Who are kind of the big organizers in your region that get the little community events going?
So yeah, I think the region is pretty much the Netherlands. Regional things, I think. But we have, of course, the Jan van Haastre championships, which is like already kind of going on for a lot of long years, and that's really established. And now we have these few people which are also kind of pretty do a lot of things on Instagram, like Minike and those and Daniela, who are kind of building this community now really to in the Netherlands to kind of get together more often. So that's really nice.
You mentioned that that a lot of your normal friends aren't really into speed puzzling. What do they think about where you are with your puzzling and how good you are, and sort of this other like puzzle family that you're building?
Yeah. I think they find it really cool that I'm kind of apparently pretty good at this kind of very niche thing, and so I did also drag my friends along to the Dutch nationals. So because I didn't have a team yet, I didn't know anyone, because it was kind of before I did the Euro Jigsaw Jam, and I was just looking for a team, and I didn't have really anyone, and I said, let's do it, and then they were like, okay, sure, I guess, and then we started practicing, and now they kind of like it, and we also got like, we're not the best, but we were pretty decent, I think, with the 4 of us as well. So that's really, then they also kind of like it, but other than that, they're not really making any puzzles themselves. So it's more of a, if I want, they can come and I can drag them along a little bit. But in general, they're really supportive, and I think it's really nice that I do all these kinds of things. Yeah.
That's really lovely. Do you have any? Do you have like a favorite puzzle memory about hanging around with other puzzlers?
That's really hard, actually, because I haven't actually done these many live events. So only the preliminary and then the event of yesterday, kind of. So, and both of those were great. So in that sense, they're very good memories. No, but I do think at the Dutch preliminaries, it's also very chill and very relaxed. It's very different from, I think, the World Championships, where everyone's really, for a team, we're already pretty like good into speed puzzling, and there we had these for other people on the table next to us, and they were kind of casually making the puzzle and having a beer and getting these snacks and stuff. So there is also like a whole kind of happening just to be there and have fun, and that was also very nice to see that it's that everyone's just having a very good time making a puzzle and do that kind of together, which is really nice.
That's that sounds really, really cool. It's heartwarming to hear people being able to enjoy a niche thing together in an environment where they can all cheer for each other and not feel tense, which is really cool.
Sorry, I just need to interrupt. I need to point out Rika is doing amazing. She's going to get like her best result, and she is just accelerating towards the end. So go Rika, go Rika.
Go Rika, go Rika, go. You can do it. Because I
see some other people are slowing down. Some people who were ahead of her are slowing down, and she's really like, well, she's not listening to us, but go Rika.
Yeah.
You never know. I always listen to you guys.
It doesn't disturb you.
She might listen to us later. She might listen to us later, but what sort of cheering can we do for Rika right now?
Oh, Vicky's so close. Or maybe it's between. Oh, Vicky's a few pieces ahead. Go, Vicky.
Yeah, Jules is pointing out a clever use of the tray. This is a tactic becoming more and more common, where people load up the tray and put it in the middle of their puzzle, and then use that to distribute things that are on opposite sides a little bit, rather than dragging from left to right a little bit.
Oh, congrats, Vicky!
Which I think is interesting.
So Vicky
knocks it out of the park.
Vicky claims 19th, and Rika 20th. Yay!
Congratulations, Rika! That is a great time. Marta, whenever you're doing puzzles, do you think more about what your placement is in competition, or do you think about what your time is, or is it something totally different? Like, how do you measure your success on a puzzle?
Yeah, I think usually based on the kind of the ranking, I guess, or but sometimes that's when I think the last one, the cherry patsy puzzle with the hedgehogs, I placed, I think, 14th or something. It was kind of but then I was also not really happy with it, because I think mostly because of the placement, because when I looked at the time, it was actually like I could if I would have done it without a competition, I think I would have been pretty happy with the time. But because then you're in this kind of this placement ranking system, you always think about it a bit differently. So it's definitely kind of a combination of both. But during the puzzling itself, I just tend to not think about it at all. I don't really look at my time or look at how things are going. I just kind of, if everything's going fine, let's not disturb that. And by looking at like the time or hearing too much about how other people are doing, I think.
Yeah, I like being able to put the blinders on. Michelle, you were getting ready to say something there.
Oh, I just Amelia just finished, and she had to like jump on the table to reach across to finish. So yeah, and we're doing some great finishes. We're not even at 2 hours. We've already had so just a moment ago, Rika was 20th, then we had Quinta, Mona, Amelia, Cornelia. So already 24 finishes, and we still have just over 5 minutes left before the 2 hour mark. This is amazing. I'm so impressed. Everyone is doing so well.
Does it, Murray, for you, I know in competition it sort of becomes like a ranking plus the time for how you feel about it. Seeing so many puzzlers start becoming so fast so quickly, is that like an exciting thing, or is that intimidating being one of the top puzzlers right now?
I think it's both. To be fair, I will say it feels kind of intimidating to see all these new, like all these people doing such great times, and like, can I keep up? Can I? But it's also just very nice because it mainly means like these fast puzzlers, they were usually already pretty fast all along, but they just started joining the community, kind of what I had as well. That I kind of just started to join a Jigsaw Jam, and then suddenly, oh, there's another person that's pretty good. So that's also just very exciting to see all these new people kind of arriving and coming. But to be fair, yes, it's also kind of intimidating sometimes.
Oh, it's it's interesting to hear you say the mixed feelings about it. Just across the board on that. For the what sort of puzzle events do you have coming up the pipeline?
Oh, so we have the 6th or 7th of April. We have the Jan van Haas, the finale. So where I'll be as a solo and as a team. And then I think there's also going to be a Dutch Nationals, which is kind of more in association with the World Jigsaw Championships, which I think is 2 months later, but I'm not sure yet if I can join, so that'll be a bit of a question. And then we have Worlds, the first time I'll join there and kind of see how it is with so many puzzlers and such a big event. I think I've never seen that before.
I'm excited to see you at Worlds too. I think you're going to have an absolute blast. And if you've had like a fun time with some of these other events, Worlds is going to be great. I'm really excited for you. I guess one, what, you know, sort of to cap things off.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite thing about the puzzle world?
Oh,
just in general. Could be anything.
That's hard. I don't know. It feels very, very weird. It's kind of how it makes me feel, I guess. It's just so great to come home and just make a puzzle, and then you just kind of, you flow through it, and it's a nice image, and it just feels very nice and kind of even relaxing at the same time, even if you make it very fast. And the other thing I really like is that the puzzles are they're so abundantly available in that sense, that I really like going to like the thrift stores and kind of finding them all secondhand and kind of scouring for the images I like, because there's so much out there that you haven't seen before, and kind of picking out all those nice images that you can try and make. I think are one of the two things that I don't know, really enjoy about doing puzzles and the whole puzzle world, I think.
That's really lovely. Well, congratulations on winning the first solo EJJ 1000 piece puzzle. It's really phenomenal, and I can't wait to see you puzzle more. It's really wonderful.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the commenting. It was really nice having someone really that's into commenting and really seeing all the things people are doing. It's also really like motivating to hear that in the background. So thank you as well.
Oh, shucks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Oh man, we've had a lot of finishers all under the 2 hour line, which is really amazing, folks. I know a lot of people have done 1000 piece puzzles. Not as many do 1000 piece for speed explicitly. So this is it's really heartwarming to see all these people coming together to do this. Just taking a Sunday morning to do something they love together really fast. And I think Michelle, how many places do we have locked up now? I think we're up to our top 26 or so.
So Cornelia was 24th, then Jana 25th, Julia 26th, Jessie 27th. So we've had 27 finishes, just coming up to the 2 hour marks. Maybe Valerie? Oh, so close. Okay. I was hoping we have another finish before 2 hours. So we've just crossed 2 hours, but we have some on screen. We have Stefan, Freya, Madara, Valerie, and Samilia, all very close to finish in the next couple of minutes. Everyone's doing amazing. Yeah, so
wow, it's really great.
Yeah, so Rika's joined the YouTube chat, and first time to get under 2 hours, so she achieved her goal today. And the first time that she listened to she got to the end of her 1.5 hour playlist.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it when people can hit their goal. Can hit their goals in real time in competition, and getting under 2 hours on a 1000 piece puzzle is just a fantastic triumph. So congrats, Rika. That's really great. We're all thrilled for you.
Yeah, so Kiara, our second place finisher for today. You can turn your camera on. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, so tell us, congratulations, and tell us what you thought about the puzzle today.
Thank you. Well, I loved it. I have had like sunshine puzzles in my to-buy list for a couple of years now. It's one of those, I have too many puzzles and I'm trying to go through the pile before I buy a new one, etc. But now I have one. So I was really happy with the image. It's lovely. Thank you. Good choice.
That's great. Yeah. So tell us about your process here. How did you attack this thing?
So let me think. I changed my mind a few times during this. So I started sorting out the chili peppers, the reds in general, and I had this pile of chili peppers, the edges, and kind of the hat from Mr. Bergman, the Burgerman on its own. And then as I was doing that, by the time I finished flipping, I started noticing the boat, and the boat was way more visible than that. So I decided to change my mind, and I had all this pile of pieces that I don't know whether it was worth sorting out, and I did the boat, which was super fast and super quick, and I didn't regret that. And then I moved on with the red. So I did the chili, the hat, actually the hat and the tomato, because I hadn't noticed that there is also a tomato with the lettuce. So I had that out too. And then I don't remember anymore what I did after that. I think I did the signs, the yellow one, and then the orange, and then the flamingo, and then I started connecting things with the sun. And then I noticed that there are a lot more gradients than I expected, because after I did that, I did some corners of the edges, because I had the edges out. So I did some of the edges, and I just noticed that there is this super light blue on the left of the puzzle. So I actually did the edge of that piece and like pulled out only the super light blue pieces and like did the kind of the sky, but without the palm in it. And so then finished the sun and finished the sky. So I did the tortillas first, actually. I don't know. I did the tortillas at some point pretty early, but I didn't even remember.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was going to be the easy find in there.
Yeah. No, I did the tortillas before I even did the sun. So I think it was at the beginning, just after the orange sign. I think it was orange sign, flamingo, tortillas, and then I did the sun and toucan and the sky. And then went back to the bottom. But I don't know, like the thing that I remember, like I left the green for last, but like the only green. So I did everything in the sky pretty early and like closed out all of the same color, like sky, like the purple sky and blue sky was done, but I left the palm out because I thought it might be easy to mix it with the chili peppers and I didn't want to lose time sorting those out. And so I decided that green was going to be the last thing that I did. And I did it even after the sand. So that was my decision. And I don't think I regret that. I still don't know whether I should have sorted the edge at the beginning or not, but who knows? The first time I do a competition.
I think it worked out just fine for you.
It did work fine. But you know, small optimizations is what I've been wondering.
I totally get it. I'm doing those same calculations all the time. Like how can you cut off just a few more seconds over the course of the whole thing? And I really like that you were mentioning that you made a lot of shifts in your tactics as you were going. I think on like a lot of people on the 500s or the 300s, they kind of get locked into this is the way that it needs to be done, and there's not a lot of time to redirect. I think on thousands, people can sometimes do a similar thing where they get locked into I need to do this part first and then this part, and there's plenty of time to make shifts. At what point, whenever you're puzzling, do you make that decision to go, I need to move on, or I need to try something a little different?
It's more if I'm doing a section, I think I try to commit to it and finish it, because that's something that I learned with the 500. If I am in the middle of something and I drop it, then like I become unorganized and like that messes up like my working space and it's not great. But I do think a lot about like what is the next thing that I'm going to work on, and like I have my plan because I'm working, you know, on the toucans and I have already decided the next thing I'm going to do the sun. But while I'm doing that, I don't know, I notice like something like on the corner, or like I had this moment of, yeah, while sorting the chili peppers, it was like, oh, but actually the red line, there is a small red line in the boat. And so it's while I'm still sorting so that I can leave the pile there. It's not fully finished sorting and I start doing something else. I sort it out, I do it, and then I go back to the pile that was already there. And I try to not leave it for too way after, because otherwise like I wasted the sorting time for that. And maybe there's other pieces, but it's more of a, you know, instead of it being the next section, it's going to be the next section because I found something easier and faster to do in the meantime. So I will do that and then go back to what I had committed to, even if maybe it wasn't the right choice. I try to do that. Like if I started sorting things out, I try to commit to it and do it, even if I change my mind about it, or like not change my mind, but I kind of regret it, but I will stick to it. So yeah.
No, it's really cool to hear you say it, because some puzzlers end up in the spot of this is a little too hard, I'm going to jump over here, then I'm going to jump over here, then I'm going to jump over here. And I think whenever it's an intentional decision, that can keep the ball rolling. But sometimes if it's more of a reflexive one, you can end up with a bunch of unfinished projects and then a blocked box, which can be really difficult.
Yeah, I think so. And also, like if something is annoying, like you cannot really not do it. Like it's still going to happen at some point in the puzzle, unless it was like a fully bad choice because that color is everywhere and actually you could sort it out by the other color that is on the pieces. But like that's not a case for this puzzle. This puzzle has very distinct colors and section, which is very nice. Like I think this puzzle is also kind of in my strengths. Like it has big areas that are sortable, but also not like the whole puzzle is the same color, but the sortable area are not too small. So yeah, I had a lot of fun putting this together.
That's really, really great. All right, I'm gonna shift the gears here a little bit. The sort of the question of the day. What puzzle community? What you think?
Well, it's hard. So like the main thing is, as you probably know already, because you know me a little bit, but like puzzle is all about community for me. So like it's the biggest thing of puzzles right now, which is a big shift from how it used to be when I was, you know, a kid. I didn't know that there could be a community with puzzles. Like puzzle was just my main solo hobby. Well, now it's community. So it's friends, it's connecting with people, it's like Instagram and like chatting with even like strangers for, you know, a few messages, and then like again 6 months and whatever, and traveling and meeting people and talking to people. And yeah, you know, like I traveled to US nationals just because I wanted to meet the people in person and be there. And there's a lot of belonging sense for me from the puzzle community. Like I think I found my place, a place where I can feel like I can be 100% me, and there's a lot of support, a lot of inclusion, a lot of friendliness and niceness, and like it's just puzzle community is lovely. Yeah.
That's really great. I'm gonna sort of a I'm kind of curious. Is there anything about puzzling on your own before the explosion of all the community that you miss? Like, is there anything about like that sort of more solitary aspect of it that you feel kind of gets lost?
No, I don't think it does, because I do still puzzles on my own. Like I'm not missing the times that I had of like puzzling while watching like TV on my own. Like I still do that, but I have like so much more from it and richness. And even if like I just, you know, post a photo of like the finished puzzle, like there's people like are liking it, or like I can, you know, go to bed and like scroll through and see like what my friends have been puzzling that day. And like it's just something on top of it. Like I don't think it takes away from my puzzling on my own. The competitions sometimes do a little bit. Like I've had the feeling of like missing my solo relaxed or semi-relaxed puzzling while I was like training very hard for Worlds, and it's going to happen again. But you know, it's a compromise and it's a choice. It's putting that effort in means then like I can also be faster and like see the results, and that's also nice. But the community part is just a plus for me, 100% a plus.
That's really cool. I tend to think of a lot of things of trade-offs, and it's really fascinating to hear that you don't feel any trade-off with that community growth. It's really lovely. For people who are trying to like grow their puzzle network, who are trying to find their like puzzle tribe, what kinds of things should they do?
Well, I think for me, like if you follow what I've done, I don't know if that's the right choice or there are better ways, but like Instagram has been great for me. I think, you know, just follow people and like write to people and chat. Like I do just reach out to random people a lot on Instagram. Like if I see something funny, something that I relate to or whatever, like on a story, like I will, you know, send emojis or maybe sometimes even send a message. And like not always, obviously, because all of us also have other things to do. And like sometimes you get a message and it's like lovely, but I'm in the middle of something else. And so I will maybe put a heart there, but I don't have time to start a conversation. But there's other times in which like that actually starts a conversation that then lasts, you know, 20 minutes. And then like you kind of feel like you're beginning to have a friend. And for me, when that happens consistently, like with the same person, I will have like multiple conversations on the span of a few months, and then we finally actually meet in person, and like we are friends, or like maybe we're already, you know, consider each other friends in the meantime. So that's kind of how I would suggest starting, like just, follow people and like be a bit proactive. The puzzle people are really, really nice. And so many of them like actually answers and are also happy to make a new online friend. In person, it's a bit harder, so I don't know yet. Like I'm actually going to go to my first puzzle meetup here in Munich, like later this afternoon. The association here in Germany, like in the big cities, is organizing meetups. I have missed the first 2 meetups here because I was traveling on those 2 days, but like today is the first time that I can go. And from what I've heard, there's going to be around 20 people there. So I'm going to meet some local folks, I think. And I don't know, going to events, I think in general helps a lot, or participating even here. Like I have met Lena, for example, through the AJJ because I was looking for a pair partner, and then like I don't remember how I reached out at the beginning, but I think I just found her Instagram account from like the spreadsheet of the AJJ results, and then like we found out that we even live close to each other and we've puzzled together a few times now. So yeah, try to use your resources.
Oh yeah. What sort of advice would you give for people that want to reach out to a puzzle celebrity like yourself?
I don't consider myself a puzzle celebrity, but I would just say,
you're one of the top puzzlers in the world. That makes you a puzzle celebrity.
Okay. I still don't feel like I am, but thank you. I will try to accept that. I would just say reach out. I think to everybody who has written to me on Instagram, I have answered. So just, reach out. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to bite. I might sometimes disappear because sometimes I am a disaster and I'm like, oh, I want to answer this message, and then it takes me 2 weeks to actually get back to it. That happens with friends and non-friends and like everybody. But yeah, just write or like come up at an event, especially like if we're at Worlds or like I don't know, the German nationals in 2 weeks, etc. Like I'm going to be there with one of the big goals for me is to just meet people and like meet the community and make new friends. And so just as I have spent the past 3 years going around and like starting conversations with random folks, I would be happy if like people did that with me. Yeah.
Okay, I just have a quick question related to that. Is there anyone that like you've been like, oh, I really like to go up and say hi, but they're so famous, or like they're such a good speed puzzler, or like, I don't know, like in the early days, was there anyone where you were a fan of that you were excited to meet?
Well, a bit, yes, at the beginning, but it's not as obvious because when I started, like the community was very hidden, so you didn't really know who was who. But it certainly took a while to go up and say hi to Alejandro or like Kristen. Like Kristen, I actually didn't speak to like the first year because she was intimidating, and I was a bit nervous to go up and speak with her. But then I did it the year afterwards, and she was nice and friendly like everybody else, obviously. But so those are cases that I can think of. Or I think Karen also, I was little bit afraid of reaching out the first time, and like that didn't happen in person. It actually did happen through Instagram, I think. But yeah, it took a little bit extra courage to actually write that first message while writing to other folks who are like me or are here in the AJJ, and I've heard them speak. Like I don't even remember the first time that I chatted Anna, for example, but like we just chatted and it happened. So yeah, it does happen that I do get more nervous. I think I was a bit nervous also to go and speak with Kati because it was like, this is like, I'm really in awe of how fast she's already is, like from having seen her on Instagram. I didn't reach out to her on Instagram before Worlds. Like I did build up the courage and go and congratulated her after she had competed at Worlds. But she was someone that I was looking forward to speaking to with.
And you have a great reward
really awesome.
for that. For all of those people
Yeah.
you went up and said hi, and now you're going to be competing together with them as a team.
Yeah,
So
yeah, like things work out. Like
you got to sow the seed, and then like later you will get fruits. So
yes, and you have to start a lot of seeds to get fruits. I think that's one of my learnings. Is like, you know, I think I have reached out to a few hundreds people by now on like Instagram or in person. Not all of them are close friends, but I have also a lot of close friends, and it's fine. Like, I don't ever expect, you know, to anyone who like I have like one conversation with that we will become best friends. If we do, it's awesome. If we don't, but we just have a couple of pleasant conversations here and there, like that's also fine. It's still part of a community for me.
It's really, really exciting. So everybody that's in the chat or watching this later, 2 weeks from now, that's going to be your big opportunity to just swarm in on Chiara and make a new friend right away. She wants to meet you, so I expect to see you just like doing like a crowd surf thing at the puzzle thing. It's gonna be great. I got one big question. A big thing that the puzzle community loves is figuring out how to do things a little better. And Jules in the chat is wondering, what is one tip that the top puzzlers could give to people learning how to puzzle faster? I know there's hundreds of things, and there's like favorites, there's not favorites, but just what's one tip to just go a little quicker?
Well, my tip from today is like be organized, like pick a section, actually sort everything out, like look at the pieces, make sure you have everything, and then stick to it, get it done, and iterate.
I really like that. Make a decision, stick with it, and iterate.
And be sure that you sort things out well. Like, I think it always pays off to do a second pass, like an eye pass. Sure, it's going to take you 30 seconds maybe, or well, maybe less. Well, but it's going to take you a few seconds to go through the whole pile of pieces, like with your like eyes, and look through and see whether you're missing pieces. But it always pays off to have all of the pieces if you can sort them out.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Chiara, and congratulations. And if I don't catch you, like, good luck in the next couple of comps that you have coming up.
Thank you.
that was awesome today, Chiara. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
We're coming up on the 2 hour and 21 minute mark here. So if you're still puzzling, keep going. The entire puzzle world is rooting for you. There's people in the chat. There's people that are going to watch this later. You probably have people that are hanging out, you know, right now in your homes that are rooting for you. So keep on going. I know that the stamina starts to kick in and become an issue. If you need to stretch, you know, roll your shoulders a little bit, wiggle your back, do something to kind of get some blood going back into your legs a little bit, and then give it another go. Keep pushing, hit the gas. We're all rooting for you. You can solve this.
I need to mention that Lynn Danielson, your camera is offline. I know you're using a second device, but the other one is turned off. If you could please check your cameras, Lynn Merata. Yeah, everyone is doing amazing. So we are at 2 hours and 20. So I just finished my puzzle 2 minutes ago, 2 hours and 20. So we've already had 44 people finish. So yeah, so that means we have we're basically halfway. So we have another 40-ish people to go. And don't lose heart, we still have over an hour. So we're going to get as many of you, 84 people, are going to hit that done message. We're really looking forward to that. All right, so let's bring in our third place for today, if he's still there. No, Victor has left. All right.
Oh, here we can see if he'll come back. Shoot him a note here real quick. Let's see if he'll pop back in. But on the screen right now, we can see several people getting pretty close to the close. Nana is coming in on the last little bit of sand. You can see that once people get to like the last 20 pieces or so, they get that second wind and start pushing through. And Nana's going to be able to blitz it out. I hope try to shoot to get under that 2-hour 25-minute mark. I believe in you. I think who's in the top middle there? Is that
Arjen?
Arjen. Has a little bit of that lower sand left. Cameron just finished. Congratulations. Arjen's doing well. Upper right, a little bit of splotches in places, but looks like things are relatively well sorted. So you're going to be able to get this knocked out. Yeah, just try to blitz through the rest of the shapework in that sand, and then you can clean up the lower edge. You're totally on this. See if I can biggie size my image here. Anne is doing excellent, has those green pieces left and some of that bottom edge. Really interesting tactic to use the box itself as a puzzle board. Yeah, you see that all over the place. And Nana finishes, congratulations, under the 225 mark. Very, very excited for you. That's phenomenal. Valentina doing a great job. You can see that they've done a little bit of shape work here with those green pieces to try to get that tree line in. Arjun coming in as well. Anna Art finishes strong. Congratulations. And it looks like Linda W coming in on the close for the bottom edge, and all the top part is done. You only have maybe about 25, 30 pieces left. Just keep on pushing.
All right.
We can see if Victor will come back later. I haven't seen him pop back on yet.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
All right, Arjen's about to finish. Well done.
Yay, there it is. Congratulations.
Yeah, then Ellen, come back and we'll finish our chat. Ellen Schiller. But yeah, we have so many people at the moment, all coming in at a similar position, all about 30 pieces left. Oh, sorry. Sorry, did I confuse? Oh, I'm so sorry. It was Lenka. Sorry, Alan. We'll get to you in a bit. I just forgot. It was actually Lenka. Lenka got into the third position. Sorry, somehow I thought she was fourth again, but no, you made it. Congratulations, Lenka.
Thank you. Not this time.
Second time on the podium. That was amazing.
Yeah, I had really high hopes about this competition. I really wanted to do a 1000, so I'm happy that you decided to do it. And I hope there will be more in the future.
Yeah, fantastic. Have you done many speed puzzles of 1,000 pieces before?
I really like to do 1000s, and every time I do a puzzle, since 2 years ago, I always take the time. So even though it's not planned as a speed puzzle, I always know and always see if I'm improving or not. So I have a rough idea of how it's going.
And so what's your average time for 1,000 pieces?
I don't usually pick exactly the easiest ones. So for an average 1000, maybe I do around 2 hours. I have never done under 1.5 hours, and absolutely not on the first time. So today was insane.
Congratulations. That's a huge break.
Thank you. It was really good. And I've already noticed with the 500s that during competitions, I have much better times than outside competitions. So I'm not surprised that it happens today with the EJJ.
That little bit of adrenaline helps keep you moving.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I always hear the commentaries. So thank you, Jim and Michelle. I always know what is going on. I always know that I can do it. So then I keep trying.
I'm really glad that you said that, because it's easy whenever you're doing these huge puzzles to get into that, oh my gosh, how am I going to solve this? So I guess sort of an interesting baseline question. What did you think of this puzzle and how did you attack it?
I've been following Mr. Bergerman on Instagram before. I've already seen that it existed, but I never really connect did the character with any brand. I was not following Sunshine Puzzles. I have not really seen them. So I laughed a bit when I saw it. I was like, okay, finally I get a chance to try one. And I really enjoyed it. It was really nice to speed puzzle, even though it was not meant for speed puzzling, but the pieces connected very well. They were easy to transport. The colors are beautiful. So I really enjoyed it. Well, I started with the white boat. I picked the white boat and then all the texts. So the yellow sign, the orange sign, and the how to be. And then I went to the flamingos, the red chilies, all the sunset. And then as Kira was saying as well, then I noticed that the sky was a gradient. So I separated all the purple parts to the part where it should be, and all the turquoise to the other side, and kind of playing with it. I did Mr. Burgerman somewhere in the middle. It was easier than I thought. Bacterias almost at the end. Because they were 4 and they were not so big and they were like all similar and dispersed, but in the end it was easier than I thought. And I was really intimidated by the browns because there were several and I thought it would cost me a lot of time to actually take the time, look at the picture. I prefer to keep moving, so I left them at the very end. The greens were a bit easier because I noticed that the chilies were green with white and the palm trees were green with dark. So they were not so bad. But then the browns were a bit hardcore. But since you were commenting that there are several people behind me, I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then I went. Yeah.
You found that second gear.
Yeah, absolutely. I still have no idea how I managed, but in the end, the browns made some sense and it was okay. Also helped that the sand was a gradient and there were the seashells. So yeah, it was not as bad as I thought.
It's really cool to hear the top puzzlers talk about how they break the image up into smaller and smaller parts and not just go, okay, I'm going to do the whole sky and there is a gradient. You very much think of it as, okay, it's a gradient, so I'm going to grab the brighter parts and do it here. And I'm going to grab the darker parts and do it here, rather than trying to just do everything at the same time. How did you come around to like breaking down the image whenever you see it in terms of what you wanted to work on? Did you like look at the box first and go, okay, here's what I'm going to aim for? Or did you kind of look at the pile and let the pile dictate what you were going to aim for?
Each days are very special in this because we have a few seconds beforehand and we can decide what we want to do. In a presidential competition, I don't have that much time and I guess I would just pick one and improvise and just go for it, whatever jumps to my eye. But then here, since we have the seconds to prepare ourselves, I almost always go by colors. So I try to pick a color that is specific for one region, but almost is not present in any other. And in this case, it was really a good way for me to progress because the white is pretty much on one spot. The orange of the text is different of the other oranges, and I go by color. So yeah, I picked the order more or less. Then I go through the pile and I picked all the specific colors. When I sort, I like to sort different things at the same time. So I throw them to one corner, the others to the other, and so on. And then I just go through the piles. So I had a white pile. When I finish, I jump to the other. And then when I finish the piles and I don't know what to do, I normally go for either for the edges or I see what is left. In this case, I noticed all the gradients and also the sunset and the ocean. And I went for that.
No, it's really neat that you're able to use slightly different strategies based on the way that the competition is set up and based on what the puzzle itself is. Some puzzlers tend to be very like analytically minded and like optimization. I'm going to do all this, and other puzzlers are very much sort of like what you said, are very much in the improv sort of. I'm going to see it and then I'm going to do it. What sort of camp do you gravitate towards a little bit?
I like to improvise because if I only stick to one strategy, there can be perfectly puzzles that will not work. So I like to have options, and sometimes it happens that I'm stressed, my mind is blank, I don't know what to do. In that case, I jump, for example, to the edges. So I don't know what else to do. I'm totally out of the place, and I jump to the border, or I start picking one color, or just something to keep moving, and then I continue. But yeah, I really like to go by the colors. So with colorful pictures, it's much easier for me. And I pick different strategies on what it is. Also in 1000, the strategy will be probably different from 500s. As you said during the commenting, you somehow need to reduce the pile. So whatever you can sort out and make it easier to look at, it helps. Even if I will not do everything right away, at least I will separate the pieces and I will then have the pile much smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the U.S. puzzlers, Becca Taylor, calls it lowering the noise in the pile. If you can sort stuff out, which is really neat. So I guess it's sort of a general thing, as we've been asking some of the other puzzlers. What do you think about the puzzle community? Like, what has it done for you? Like, how do you participate in it? Like, what do?
As we already heard today, many people said that the community is really nice. I don't know how it happens. I don't know if any other community has this feeling, but everyone just feels so nice. So it's incredible. Puzzles used to be a solitary hobby. You do it at home and no one knows. And nowadays, everyone has an Instagram account or YouTube channel, and people comment and like and share. And I find it really nice. I'm not really a person who would reach out to others and talk to them in person. Thanks to the internet, it's much easier. So it's good to know that other people have the same hobby. They enjoy the same thing, and they are doing something to create more competitions, to promote puzzling. So I'm really happy that it exists, and that we live in this age when we know about other people with the same hobby or sport or whatever you want to call it.
Is it you were saying that sometimes it's difficult for you to like walk up to people in person. How difficult is it to like type that initial, hey, I like your puzzling, just wanted to say hi message to somebody?
I just like the posts. I don't do that. The only person I ever spoke to was Michelle, and only because Anka, my sister, introduced us. So I went to the Worlds and to other competitions, but if another person didn't approach me, I would never speak to anyone. I pretty much ran away. So.
Okay, so
but
at the next,
if someone reaches out, I reply.
So at the next Worlds, we need to go. Everyone go up and say hi to Lenka. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody go find. Yeah, go find Lenka's Instagram. Send her a hi. Right. No, it's interesting. There's so many introverted extroverts in the puzzling world that want to do the thing, and it's really cool to see the way that different people approach entering into the community a little bit. Whenever you find that struggle point of trying to reach out to people or meet them, how do you go about making those connections?
I follow many people, and with some I see that they either make similar comments to me or they share pictures that I consistently like. And with those, I feel like we have something in common, and then it's easier to write with them, to speak. Because we do have something in common. It's not just puzzles in general, but the type of puzzle that we like. So there are people who like colorful pictures, or people who like big puzzles, or just or shy people. So with some of them, it's like speaking in general. With some people, it's easier. And I'm really happy that, despite the fact that I'm not very talkative with people, thanks to the internet, I feel like I belong. So people accept other people. It's really nice.
Well,
That's cool.
if you don't feel
Go ahead.
so comfortable starting conversations with strangers or chatting in English, there are eight other languages that people can chat to you in, right? Tell us which languages. Which languages?
Sorry?
Yeah, because you mentioned in an Instagram post with a Hogwarts puzzle, you said that you've listened to this audiobook in not only one of the languages, but several languages that you know, Swedish, and what else is there?
So at school I studied English. I only speak Slovak and Czech. I studied French and Spanish. I studied on my own, but yeah. Portuguese. I live in Portugal. And then out of fun, it's my first hobby, second hobby, depends. And next to puzzles, I also like to hear Swedish, Italian, and now I'm learning Japanese. So,
Lenka, what's it like to be cool?
actually, my initial hobby before all these crazy competitions started was to puzzle while hearing languages and learning languages. So I would hear either an audiobook in a different language or a podcast in a different language. And I would do something with my brain, but also something with my hands. Now with the competitions, it's not that easy to hear the podcasts and audiobooks anymore. So I put the languages a bit apart, but every time I can, that's why I also like the big puzzles. I get a few hours in a row to just dedicate to hearing and to learning. So
That's really interesting. Whenever you're doing that, do you typically just do the same couple of books just in a different language because you know what everything already is and that kind of okay, cool.
At the beginning, so there were easier languages that resemble each other. And in that case, yeah, I would hear all the 7 books of Harry Potter in the full language. And by the time I finish, I'm quite comfortable with it. There were others that were pretty different, and I needed to hear podcasts to learn the language. So much easier vocabulary and so on. But I also didn't arrange the audiobooks of Harry Potter in those languages. So that can be the reason. But
okay,
right now, I have the Harry Potter books in Japanese. One day I hope to be able to read them. Right now I'm not. I bought them anyway.
This might be the most pressing question. What house are you in Harry Potter?
I love the full story, and since the story revolves around Gryffindor, I guess I would go with it. But Ravenclaw is cool anyway. Also.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Well, they are all cool. I like the story.
It's just they're all neat in their own way. It's just fun to hear people's thought process on that. Have you run into other puzzlers that are like really into Harry Potter?
Yeah, we could see after the night and puzzle of Hogwarts that some people were more happy about it than others, and with some of them I had conversations about it. Like, I'm a fan. Me too. That's really cool.
Fruzy is saying that she owns Harry Potter books in 6 different languages, but may not have read them yet. Well, Fruzy, hit up Lenka. She knows how to do it. She'll help coach you on how to get that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty comfortable now hearing Japanese, but I absolutely cannot read those books there. So maybe one day.
Have you thought about doing more like going to international puzzle competitions? And like I would get nervous going to some of them because I don't have the multiple languages, and I would struggle mightily with that. But is that a thing that's exciting for you to try to do?
I would like to, but on the other hand, they are national competitions, and I don't feel that comfortable going to a competition that is not my national. I already feel bad enough to going to Portuguese competitions because I'm not sure if I will be welcome or not. But since I don't really go to Slovakia anymore and there are no competitions in Slovakia, I cannot participate there. So yes, I will go to the Portuguese ones. but I feel a bit shy about going to a different country just because I'm not sure if it's open to everyone and how they would react. I saw a post from the Swedish Association. At the time, they mentioned that the people from 16 different countries registered for their national. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if they are happy about it. I'm not, even though I would love to go, I think I will not go to these national competitions. So yeah.
Have you thought about going, but not necessarily like competing in the finals, and just sort of like doing an exhibition round or something like that?
If I'm already there, I would like to compete.
Got it.
So
if you're gonna go for gold.
Sorry?
If you're gonna go for gold.
At least try for it, yeah.
Well, I hope that you can reach out to some of those places and see if it would be okay. Because I have no doubt that the puzzling world would love to hang out with Lenka anywhere, especially if all they got to do is say hi in whatever language they happen to be in at the moment, since you know every single language that has ever existed.
Not yet. Maybe one day. I also love being able to compete in a different country and hearing and understanding what the judges are saying. So at Worlds, they would stand next to me, speak about me in Spanish, thinking that I don't understand, and I do. So I always find it funny, and sometimes they say something useful, like here in EJJs when I hear the commentary. So sometimes they would speak about me and someone else, thinking like, how are they going? Like, I think this one is faster, or maybe the other one is faster. Like, okay, let's do it.
just another way to get that little bit of a boost. That's
I like
really
to
cool.
spy on people.
Well, tell us a little bit about some of your puzzle friends that you do get to like chat with and hang out with. How does that go? Like, do you guys have like secret puzzle meetings or?
Nothing like that at all. It's normally just a picture that we will like and speak about it a bit. Yeah, it's not very frequent that we would continue the conversation beyond. With some people, yes. We started speaking about life, and we realized we had more topics in common, and we would speak about those. But yeah, it's not that regular.
Well, but that's still really magical to me, right? Because some people think that community means that you have to be in the same space all the time, or you have to be talking with each other all the time. But it sounds like what you're saying is sometimes just liking another puzzle picture is great, right? It lets you know that somebody else is into the same thing.
Yeah, it makes you feel that you belong, that you are part of something bigger, maybe, or that you just have, how would I say it? Either friends or at least people with whom you can share. So it's really nice. I never really meet people in person to puzzle with, but just speaking about it with other people, or just sharing and knowing that someone likes what I do is enough for me.
I took a quick look at the chat here, and there's a couple of people that are going to the Sweden competition, like SJ and Freya, who are not Swedish and are considering making a "We Are Not Swedes" meetup. So maybe SJ and Freya reach out to Lenka, because she's not gonna message you guys, and see if you can make that happen.
So I already planned.
Which is really fun.
I have already planned for competitions for this year, and I think for all of them I need to take a few days of holidays to travel to. So I'm not sure if I will be going to anymore, but definitely if my work and pass full time for living, I would love it.
What
Maybe one.
I guess just a real quick plug. What competitions do you have coming up that you're excited about?
So there will be the Portuguese Championship in May in the north of Portugal. They still haven't published the rules, so I still have no idea if I can win anything or not, but I want to compete anyway. Then there will be the Czech Nationals in June. They invited Slovaks as well, although again, I haven't seen the rules. I don't know if everyone will be equal or the champion needs to be Czech. We will see. Then there will be the European competition in Hungary in early July. I'm really excited to go to that one because I will be puzzling with, also in the Czech one, I will be puzzling with my sister and with our Slovak team. So they will be really nice. And then the World. So
That sounds like a pretty full plate of competitions. I'm excited for you.
I can't wait. I'm just really maybe stressed or sad about the rules. They are not published yet, and since for now I only have the Slovak nationality, and there are no competitions in Slovakia, I don't know what to do with my life. But anyway, I don't think it will be a reason to move back to Slovakia just because of this.
Not quite yet, but I'm sure there will be. As more people get into it, more competitions keep popping up. So congratulations today, Lenka. Really well done, and some phenomenal puzzling. Folks, if you want to hang out with Lenka, send her something in Harry Potter in any language, and that might get her attention on that. But congratulations today. Really well done, and thanks for chatting for a little bit.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much,
Bye-bye.
Lenka. Bye. Yeah, so everyone is doing amazing. We were at 2 hours and 50 minutes. So we're going to have a couple more finishes under 3 hours. BB is very close. And yeah, we also have Aaron on screen. And yeah, Jana, Lena, Nicole, and Natasha and Aijalin a bit further behind. But yeah, really fantastic how everyone's doing. And yeah, it was really love to chat with our top 3 today. So Ellen, now we'll continue our conversation. There was, before I forget, the first question was, where can somebody buy Sunshine Puzzles not in Germany?
You can check on the Sunshine Puzzles website. On the bottom in the footer, you can see there is a store locator. I'm available in North America via Puzzledly and Rose Willy and Puzzles Canada, for example. And yeah, just check. I'm available in a few online shops outside Europe and Europe as well. I'm also sending worldwide, but you know, shipping costs are very high. That's sad. But yeah, in North America, I'm available, and in Europe, yeah. So just check the store locator, and there you find all stores listed. That would be the easiest way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I'll have some mini puzzles in the shop coming up in the week. Yeah, so people are commenting that they're getting their best times for a 1000 speed puzzle. So you designed an excellent speed puzzle.
Or maybe it's too easy.
But I think it's giving people a lot of confidence. And so maybe we'll get more people signing up next time for if we do another 1000 piece competition.
That's great. That's so lovely. And yeah, I wrote the comments. I read the comments, and it's very nice. Yeah, that everybody's enjoying it. Yeah, it's a good response for me.
Yeah, and it's really positive. So we have some requests. Mr. Bergerman needs to visit Scotland.
Oh yeah, good idea. I love Scotland. Yeah, would be great.
SJ says she can imagine him wearing a kilt among the coos and thistles. He'd love haggis and wee dram.
Yeah, and maybe meet some creatures at Loch Ness.
Yeah. And somebody asked, where is he going on vacation next, Mr. Bergerman?
There I can tell you I'm planning. It's already in my mind, and Sunshine Puzzles will be 3 years, celebrating 3 years birthday this year in May, and I'm thinking maybe Mr. Bergerman should travel around the world for this occasion. So yeah, and I love, personally, I love map puzzles, so maybe Mr. Bergerman will be everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So I had a question. What kind of challenges do you face as a business owner in the puzzle world, or starting a new brand?
To get the audience. I think this is the most part, to have a good product. I think this was okay, and it was it was not easy to find the right producer, but I think I have found a very good manufacturer for the puzzles. So this was not the easiest part. I think it's getting more, to see more, that more people are seeing you, and really that the community loves the quality. And to get customers, it's always when you sell a product, it's always the hardest part, that some people get trust in your product and really love it, and so they think they should buy it. And and this is always the to get the audience, to get to know that everybody knows you. I think the puzzle community, or the puzzle world, has some big brands everybody knows, but the small brands, we need to have our audience too. And I think I have my community, and it's building very good. And
I mean, so you
that everybody knows Sunshine Puzzles. That's the goal.
Yeah, no, well, we're definitely helping today. This is a good boost to your marketing campaign. So thank you for when I contacted you, for being so open. It was so nice. You instantly, when I sent you an email, and then you called me straight away, and we were chatting for a while, and you were just so open to the idea of using your puzzle for a speed competition. And and it was just really great how quickly it all worked out. So I have a question about, you said about the manufacturer. Have there been any changes? Is that something that did you make improvements along the time, or?
For my first Kickstarter campaign, I was starting with the German manufacturer, and the quality was also very nice. I loved it, but it was like, okay, I wanted to have reusable zipper bags for the puzzle pieces, and not only the bags you throw away, and to this plastic waste, I want to reduce it. And this was something that the German could not provide. And I thought, okay, maybe let's check another supplier. And then I got a hint that I should try this supplier I have now, and the manufacturer. And I said, okay, let's make a test. And I really love the quality. And as I'm puzzling also very often and different brands, I need to have the perfect quality, and I really love Sunshine Puzzles quality, and I enjoy it all the time when I puzzle it myself. So it's for me the right choice and the right decision. And so I want to have the best product I enjoy, so that I think everybody can enjoy it too.
And no, that's great. And you say in terms of marketing, like, I mean, obviously people know you from Instagram, but it's also important for a new brand to meet people in real life. So what do you do in that respect? I mean, you mentioned recently you were was it a trade fair in Hamburg, or some designer market, something like that?
In December, I joined 2 design markets here in Hamburg, where I live. And this was a great opportunity for me to meet really the customers and explain the product, and let them test some mini puzzles, for example. And it was so fun, because I had customers who bought my puzzles in a shop here on an island in Germany, and they checked on Instagram that I would be at this fair, and then they came over to my booth and said, "Oh my God, we bought your puzzle," and they bought Bergerman's pup, And then they bought Candyland at the fair, and it was so nice to get in touch with the people and get really the feedback, and I really loved it. And now I'm doing some B2B fairs. It's also very great to see the shop owners and talk to them, and spread sunshine puzzles all over the world. Yeah. And I always love when I get a response on Instagram, for example, when somebody is writing me or tagging sunshine puzzles. I really love it, and I try to respond very closely. And I really love it. Everybody can write me, and it's my account. I'm answering.
Yeah, I just had another question. How long does it take to design an image and then for the final product to be ready?
It depends.
Just real quick, I want to point out that we're closing in on the 3-hour mark. So just a quick boost for everybody. Go as fast as you can for the next minute as you close in on the 3-hour, and then we'll keep pushing after that. So sorry, Ellen, go ahead.
No, it's no problem. It's great. 3 hours. Oh my God. And they all are focused for 3 hours now. It's crazy. Yeah. How long does it take to design a puzzle? Sometimes it's like 3 hours, 5 hours, one day. Then I really have it finished, and I'm totally fine, and I love it. And on some days it's like I need 2 weeks from the idea till it's finished, and or more. It's really how I'm in the mood for designing, and how the image is coming through my mind. And I can't say it's always like I have finished in 3 hours and then it's fine. No, it depends on the process and the time I have. And it's always, when I design, I have only designing in mind for like 2 or 3 weeks or 5 weeks. It depends. And then I only focus on this. Yeah. And then I give it in production, prepare everything, and get a test sample, check it if I'm happy with it, and then I say, okay, production. And then it depends how the capacity at the manufacturer is, how long it takes. So if another brand has blocked everything, I have to go in line and wait. So it's always, let's see. Now 3 designs are in production and will be shipped next week. So three new puzzles and mini puzzles will be shipped next week, and then they arrive sometime in February. So how long it takes, yeah.
Yeah, Jim, did you have any questions for Ellen?
Yeah, what's it like? Just like from personal feeling, that transition from, okay, it's made, it's ready, we're going to ship it, and then that gap from when the first couple of people start getting the puzzle and getting into it. Do you feel a lot of nervousness? Is it excitement? Like, or do you just like put it out of your mind and you're like, okay, that part's done, let's move on to like what happens there in that transition time?
I'm really nervous, and but the moment I reveal the designs on Instagram is always the most scaring moment, because I don't know if people like it. Like for example, next week I will show some designs. I want to reveal them on the International Puzzle Day, so this will be very exciting for me to see if everybody enjoys them or gets excited about it. And then, it's always scaring for me when I put them in the shop and say, okay, now they are available, and how people love it. But right now, everybody loves it, and I have a very good response on the puzzle. And so, but it's always, and the next collection will be a little bit different. That's what I can tell. It will not be a real Bergerman collection. It will be a little bit different. So let's see how you like it.
That's really cool. Somebody in the chat was asking, how do you cut your puzzles? I know a lot of places use dies. There's like some that do like laser cut. yeah, how do you cut it, and how do you think about what the cut itself will do to the image? Like, do you prefer random cut for all of your images? Do you prefer standard cut? Like, do you have a leaning that way?
As I'm a German, we are used to the what's it called in English? The
Like ribbon cut?
ribbon cut, yes. I'm used to ribbon cut since I'm a child, so I personally prefer ribbon cut puzzles. And that's yeah, I love ribbon cuts. That's my so sunshine puzzles is, maybe I do some random cut in future, but right now I'm always doing the ribbon cut because I'm so used to it as a child, from childhood on. And yeah, but honestly, I don't think that this cut is, or trying to design a puzzle that the cut will be matching. I think, as I told before, I design a picture where I think this is a real good puzzle, and in the finished size of 48 and 68 centimeters, I think this would be a perfect image. And then the cut is honestly not very interesting for me. I want to have a great picture and overall looking good puzzle. Yeah.
That's really great. I guess when you think about getting the images and seeing what the initial response is like, do you do a lot of planning around what time to release the image? Like how you do the post? Do you cross post? Like what goes into the media, the like social media campaign in setting that kind of thing up?
Yeah, I'm thinking, of course, about the time and how it should be revealed, and how far before the production really arrives can I reveal my puzzles. But most of the time then I'm very spontaneous, because it's when I have time and I have a good mood, then I think, okay, now let's share something. And but yeah, it's better to be prepared and have a setup for a reveal. But most of the time it's like, okay, I have a date, but how it will be the final post I do on this day, and decide how I feel today and how I will reveal it. Yeah, I made also in the past, I had some lives on Instagram to show the puzzles, like for the pool party collection. I did not a real, a live, and yeah. So, but maybe for the future, I'm not doing a live, I'm doing it different. So how I feel on the day. And that is also for a one-person company. I think that is also the freedom I have, that I can do it like I feel today.
No, that's really cool. And there's sort of a funny overlap here, in that we have a bunch of people that are doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. They're all doing things individually. We're all kind of together and rooting for them. There's somebody in the chat, Puzzlers from Hell, are rooting everybody on and cheering every finish. So keep on going, everybody. But Ellen, whenever as a small business owner, you're doing this all on your own, who do you lean on whenever you run into a problem? Like do you have people in the puzzle community that you reach out to? Or do you have like mentors or friends and family? How do you handle a wall that comes up, sort of like some of these puzzlers running into the 3-hour slog here?
Yes, my family is my biggest support. My husband and my son, they give me strength, and really the feedback of the puzzle community. This is really, yeah, that's why I'm doing it, and that's why I'm going further with it, because the puzzle community, I every day when I open my Instagram and see someone has puzzled the sunshine puzzles, it's really like it's like the dance. I really feel proud and happy, and yeah, this really makes me go further and further and further and design more puzzles. And yeah, and of course I have some peeps from the puzzle community I have more conversations with, and I can ask, and my friends. Yeah, but it's really, when I open Instagram and see feedback, it's, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Yeah.
That's really lovely. When you do you still do puzzles from other like puzzle brands and kind of go, oh, that's a really cool idea, or do you think of it more like this is my fun time for me and just kind of separate the work brain from everything else?
Yeah, I enjoy doing puzzles from other brands, of course. Right now I'm doing a dragon puzzle, which is really hard and tough. And I was not sure if that was the right choice for me. But then I will do a unified piece puzzle I have here in stock, and I really love it. And but I don't think, oh, I should do some puzzle like this, or maybe this would be a cool design for me. That's what I'm not thinking. I just enjoy it. But what I like is when I have a good hand feel on another brand and or good puzzle quality, I think, oh, good quality. Yeah, I like. Maybe I shouldn't check the supplier, but then I remind myself and say, okay, I'm so happy with my puzzle manufacturer. I'm not switching to manufacturer to China or anything, but I enjoy it when I have a good puzzle, which is a good motive and quality overall, and yeah, then I think, oh my God, it's great and I love it. But I don't think, oh, maybe I should do a image like this. Yeah, that's not what I have in mind when I puzzle. When I puzzle, I relax.
That's wonderful. All right, this is sort of the lightning round. Okay, there's you know how there's like the 7 wonders of the world kind of a thing. What is your like top list of puzzle images that you think everybody should try? And yes,
Ooh.
they can all be sunshine puzzles. They absolutely can be.
Of course, sunshine puzzles because they are fun and sunshine. No, I really enjoy the I don't have one here. It's in my living room. 4-point puzzles. This brand, I think they did a rebranding now, and they have these color yourself images. You know, there was a beach and this desert, and I love this series. It's really, this is freaking me out. I really love it. It's one of my favorites. And I love from Hay Puzzles the map puzzles, the 2000 pieces map puzzles. I have like 2 or 3 of them in different kinds, and I really love a good map puzzle. And I have a Hay puzzle. It's like 2000 pieces, and it was it's the art puzzle. I think everybody should do it because it's challenging and great. It's a wave, and it's made out of small maps of land, of water. You know, yeah. You should check. I have pictures on my private Instagram account. Yeah, I really love map puzzles and the 4-point puzzles, the coloring collection. Yeah, these are my favorite designs ever so far, besides sunshine.
Well, that's cool, and I really like how even in a like competitive like puzzle publisher world, there's still other puzzle brands that you think are cool and other images that are neat. And it's like to me that's part of the community, is that you can still care about other stuff, and which is really lovely. But we're all rooting for you, and you clearly make beautiful, gorgeous puzzles. And if you're in the speed puzzling world, check this one out, because it's clearly one that people are getting some PR times on, and is going really well. What's your do me a favor, do a quick like Instagram plug for where people can follow you. How can they find your puzzles real quick? Like, what's the website, what's the Instagram thing? Quick plug.
The Instagram is Sunshine Puzzles Official. My private Instagram account is Puzzle with Paula. You can also follow it. There you can see what I'm puzzling besides Sunshine. And on my website, sunshinepuzzles.de, you find everything you need. Or go to the bottom to store locator, and there you can find all shops which are selling sunshine puzzles. Yeah, I will add Michelle today.
Yeah. Drop all
It
the
was
things.
it was a hard secret. We had to keep the secret for months now. So now you
Yeah.
can finally say, yes, like I have literally like the box of mini puzzles. They've been I see them like 10 times per day every time I walk into my office, and I'm like, oh, when can I finally put these online? They're so cute. Yeah. So it's been so wonderful, Ellen, to have you today. Thank you for your time and for sharing the love of sunshine puzzles with us. And yeah, just so exciting to see everyone doing your puzzle.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was really a blast and it's perfect Sunday.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, hopefully see you around soon, either in real life or at an event or on Instagram.
Yeah, see you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Yeah,
Great,
and
everybody.
congrats. It's a beautiful puzzle.
Thank you. Have a nice Sunday, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, man.
All right.
We're closing in on 3:14.
Yes.
It's almost pie time for these puzzlers. 3.14.
Yeah, so let's drop some encouraging comments for Natasha, Mary, and Nicole, Kirsten, Julie, Marie, Catriona, and Karen. You're all doing great there. And I mean, just the fact that you purchased this puzzle, because many people would not have the courage to even do a 1,000 piece puzzle in a competition. So that just shows a lot of courage, and yeah, we're rooting for you.
A lot of courage, a ton of stamina. Mary is getting very, very close to the end here. I think there's only a couple of handfuls of pieces left that just need to get knocked out. Everybody's so close. It looks like Marie has that upper corner left to knock out. You guys can push and get this done. There's 15 minutes to go. We're all rooting for you. I believe in you. You guys can believe in you. The chat is rooting for you as well. You guys can do this.
Yeah, we want to see some more finishes, and we're really excited for all of you. Yeah, so we're just going to spend the last 15 minutes chatting with Anime. So she was we chatted to her months and months ago before she went on her trip, and then since then she's been back in the competitions, and haven't had a chance to catch up. So hi Anime, thanks for joining us. Yeah, so tell us what you thought about the puzzle today.
Oh, I really loved it. You know, Mr. Burgerman is my favorite. So when I saw the box, I was like, oh yes, that's gonna be great, because I didn't buy the puzzle yet. I didn't manage to buy more puzzles from Sunshine Puzzles. So it's really nice to have one more, because I already have, I think, 4 or 5 also mini puzzles. I just love the colors, and it's always fun to puzzle. It's not like a hell like the choo-choo train you chose. So it really was fun from the first to the last piece.
Yeah, and I think what's really amazing is you have done not only sunshine puzzles before, but you have done them at the highest altitude.
Yeah.
You took a sunshine puzzle with you all the way up the Himalayas.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, up until the summit, but I forgot to take a picture. So yeah, I did the puzzle several times, like in every camp I did it. Also to keep my brain like working, or I also tracked the time to check out if I get slower, because you know the puzzle, so you should be faster, but then you don't have oxygen. So I expected me to be slower, but actually I managed to do almost the same time on every altitude. So the same time on 6,000 meters and on 7,400, 12 meters. So it was really nice, but it was hard to puzzle it because I didn't have a flat underground. So I puzzled it on the sleeping bag, and then, yeah.
I appreciate your dedication to science on this one. That was an unanswered question, and we now have it solved. Altitude does not affect the puzzling approach. That's excellent.
Yeah, you don't know if it's always a different puzzle. Maybe you get slower.
Mm-hmm.
But that's so amazing.
No,
what was the
really cool.
highest altitude that you did that puzzle, that little mini puzzle at?
Yeah, that was at 7,400 something. I took a picture from my watch and the puzzle, but I actually don't remember. And I didn't really take the pieces away from each other when I started for the summit, because I wanted to take a summit picture. Like from Mr. Bergman, it's 6 or 7 pieces. But then when I was on the summit, I had to take pictures with my unicorns. So I kind of forgot to take the picture with the puzzle. And then when I was walking down after half an hour, I was like, oh no, I had to take a picture. But then my Sherpa said, no, we have to go down. We can't go back. Yeah, so next time I try to remember to take the picture.
That's probably one of the wackiest things I've ever heard at the summit. Can we just go back? I forgot to take a picture of me with my puzzle.
Yeah, it was also like we were faster than expected. So we ended up on the summit in total darkness. So I couldn't see anything. And the thing I was most excited about was the view. Like when you are so high, you want to see something, and it was so dark. So I was a little bit disappointed. So it was also a chance to get to view to go back. But yeah, it would have been also too crowded because we already waited for 20 minutes to step on the summit. So later on, it would have been an hour of waiting time, and it's just, not safe anymore. So yeah.
You could do so many puzzles in that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's also, it's stupid to bring weight up there, actually. So I always bring my unicorns. That's an extra weight we shouldn't bring. And then I also brought the puzzle. So it was like, why did I bring it when I didn't take a picture? But yeah, and the quality was so nice. That's also a thing. I made the picture, I think, 10 times within a week. And it's still like brand new. So it's, I can only recommend like every sunshine puzzle, especially the mini ones.
Yeah,
that's look great.
Yeah, I think we need to get you a Guinness World Record. I wish there was some way to verify that, because there needs to be a world record for a puzzle done at the highest altitude. So I'm unofficially giving you that title. And
it's actually hard to get a title. You have to like pre-sign in for it. I tried to get something on Everest, actually, because I want to do the same thing again on Everest. And the 4th camp, like the highest camp, is on 8,010 meters. So it would be even higher. But I think you need proof, and you need people to prove. So it's not that easy. But I try to get prepared to get that title.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, no, I think it's just so exciting how you have such you have 2 very different passions, but yeah, I'm just wondering, are there any similarities between your training for training to climb a mountain
for climbing the speed puzzle mountain versus climbing the actual mountain?
So actually, I was always challenging myself with puzzling, not speed puzzling, but I was always buying the world's biggest puzzle. So I'm still about to do the biggest one from the US, the 60,000, the world thing. And I was on a good track to finish it, but then I discovered speed puzzling, so I had to challenge myself there. Actually, maybe the mental thing, being focused on just that, like being focused on the puzzle or being focused on a mountain. If you're on a mountain, you just have to walk and not think too much, because if you think, you will get slower, which is also a thing with puzzling. But at the same time, it's also, I always have to divide my time in between these 2 passions. So at the moment, I shouldn't puzzle that much. I should train more, which is very hard, because puzzling you can do like pretty much every time. And going to the gym or going for a hike also means spending a lot of time on like boring stuff, like being on the treadmill or the Stairmaster for I don't know how many hours. So I prefer puzzling more. So it's actually a hard thing to say, no puzzle, I can't puzzle now. So that's a dilemma, I would say.
Maybe we just need to hook you up with somebody in the puzzle community that has a 3D printer or some kind of or some kind of like woodworking, and can just make a little mini table that you can latch onto the treadmill, so that way
Yeah.
as you're walking you can do something, right?
Yeah. I'm also already embarrassed to go with my big boots to the gym. I should go there on the Stairmaster. I'm embarrassed to go do so. And if I also show up with a table, I don't know what they think about me.
I think what they would think is what the rest of the puzzling world would think, which is, man, anime is awesome. Look at that. Look at anime doing all the things at the same time, which is really, really phenomenal.
Chasing her
crazy.
dreams, fulfilling her dreams. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or
Do you ever?
I'm just not able to say no to something, maybe.
Well, you say you feel a little awkward maybe feel a little awkward going to the gym in boots or anything. Do you ever feel awkward going to puzzle events and then want to like go climb a mountain immediately during the during the puzzle event or anything? Have you ever felt that urge and then felt awkward that way?
It's awkward to talk people that I also have the passion. So when I was at the Dutch Championship, no, not the Dutch Championship, like the Jan van Halsteren Championship, and I qualified for the final, and everyone was so excited. And I was like, I can't go. I decided to climb Mount Everest, and then there was a 3-second pause. Did she really say it? Did she mean what she said? So it's actually hard to tell the puzzle community that I'm a crazy climbing girl, and it's also crazy to say to people climbing that I'm also puzzling. So when I unpacked my puzzles on base camp last year, they were like, oh, you really love puzzle when you carry them up here. Yeah, so I think I show people that these two total opposite passions can match. Yeah.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Like the puzzling world has a very eclectic group of people, and I think that you are a showcase of one of those very eclectic people. Do you feel pretty welcome in the puzzle world, even though the some of the other physical stuff that you do might be a little outside of the norm?
Absolutely. Yeah. So like, I wrote it also in the register form. I never really told people I like to puzzle. I did it like not hidden, but I just did it at home and I didn't tell people. So I was the alien somewhere because I'm normally very outgoing and sporty and stuff. So puzzling doesn't fit really. So it was my thing. And I wouldn't say I was embarrassed by it, but it wasn't something I was proud of. And now having the community, it's like it's something you can be proud of. And it really, like Chiara said, it really doesn't matter who you are, how you look. It's just or how you talk, which language or which interest you also have. It's just you're there and they are open to everyone. And that's something I never had before, because in sports, you are a nicer person when you are a fast one or if you are strong. And in speed puzzling, it really doesn't matter if you are really speedy or you just call yourself speed puzzle if you are not the speediest one. And that's something I never experienced, and I think I will never experience again. So that's something I really appreciate. And yeah, I can't describe it more.
No,
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. Like everybody can do the puzzling at their pace, and it's a wonderful thing, right? A lot of people, the first time they do a 1,000-piece puzzle, they may not break, a 3.5-hour time limit, and that's okay because we're still excited for them because they're doing a thing. And then there's some people that get 2.5 hours, and that's amazing because it's a personal best for them. Or there's some people that get close to 1.5 hours, and that's phenomenal, right? Like the fact that it's so personal to what your goals are, and then everybody else can jump onto that. It seems like it's kind of an alignment of all the things that you do across the board. Is that fair?
Yeah, and if you don't do it, you don't know. That's a postcard I have at home. So, I mean, they are puzzling since 3 hours and they don't give up. They are still going on, and they know whenever I put work in it, I will finish. And like I always say with Everest, doing the first step is actually the most the bravest step, because if you don't do the step, you don't put yourself into the possibility of failure. And that's a thing you would never understand if you don't just start. And I mean, when I heard first about a 1,000 piece puzzle competition, I was like, how stupid is that? I mean, it depends on which puzzle you have. You just puzzle 3.5 hours. And then I was like, no, actually, it's a really good thing, because if Michelle wouldn't do it, I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's the first ever 1,000 piece puzzle I speed puzzle today. So
This is your first one? Congratulations.
I speed puzzle. Like I tried to be as fast as possible, and I had a fever yesterday. I'm on medication, so the first 20 minutes my back was sweating so hard, and I was like, oh my God, what did I put myself into? And then the medicine kicked in, so it went pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. It's so nice to have people around that give you ideas you would never have.
Yeah.
So
I know we're also coming up on the end of time here.
yeah.
But to everybody who's stepped out onto the climb today, great job for giving it a try. And anybody that is thinking about doing it or think that you can't, give it a try anyway. The worst thing that happens is that you do a puzzle.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, good on to Natasha, Kirsten, Julie, Marie, Karen, and Catriona. They have been puzzling for 3.5 hours. We've got 30 seconds left, so just find another couple more pieces. So close. Yeah.
Go for it.
We're all cheering for you.
Go.
Get 2 more pieces in. 2 more pieces in. You can do it.
Or 3.
One more piece in. Yeah, 3 would be great.
Oh yeah, Karen's popping some in.
Awesome. Let's do it. There it is. Yeah, big shift on the puzzle board. Just get 2 more pieces in. You can do it.
Yeah. Go for the blue. Blue is easy.
8,
Good job, Karen. You got 1 more in.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Oh, well done, everyone.
Congratulations, everybody.
Oh, so
very, very well done.
Oh, you did so well. So yeah, so everything that's connected 3 pieces or more counts as built, and then you can count what's left over and write that into the chat.
And we're excited to have all of you here. I like, whether you finished or not, it's just absolutely thrilling. Like, this is a huge international group. Like, Natasha is in the Japanese Puzzle Association, and she's here. Like, this is really great. It's thrilling. And Anime, when you get close to the summit of a mountain, do you like pick up the pace a little bit, or is the goal to sort of like stay even keel longer?
Actually, I start to fight against starting to crying because the closer I get to the summit, the more I realize, oh, you really gonna do this. So I kind of slow down, because breathing, crying, walking all the same time isn't easy. So I kind of slow down and try to push back the emotions. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then I stop, I give it a cry, and then I go on. So yeah, other than that, I try to keep the pace, because going faster means you get exhausted more, and the summit is only halfway. So you still have to have energy to come back to safety. So speeding up is not a good idea.
What about when you're puzzling, when you're getting close to like the last 20 pieces or so? How does that feel?
I feel nervous when I slow down or keep the pace because you don't have that many pieces, so you should be faster. So I try to speed up a little bit, which is often doesn't work because I then use my left hand. My left hand isn't so coordinated, so I never hit the spot. So I slow down even that I want to speed up. That's yeah. So speed puzzling is speeding up at the end, or before the summit, I would say. And climbing is try to keep the pace.
Congratulations to Karen and Kirsten and Julie and Catriona and Marie and Natasha. We are so thrilled for all of you. Like, this is absolutely amazing. And coming into the end, you know, just because the time's up doesn't mean you have to stop puzzling. You can finish this thing out.
Keep the puzzle like that and go on. Maybe take a break, eat something, and then go on, because the puzzle is so nice. You just have to finish it. Yeah, and it already took 3.5 hours, so it's stupid to put it back in the box now.
Well, you heard it from Anime. Keep going. I agree wholeheartedly with, like, shake it out, get a quick snackaroo, a drink or something like that, and then go and hit it, because it's really, really lovely.
Yeah. And like for example, Marie, she has the purple sky and the green. It's gradient, so it's doable. It really is doable, for example.
Well, and Katri, like, I tell people all the time, every puzzle is solvable. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a puzzle. It would just be a mess. Right?
Yeah, that's something my friend always try. They always give me an impossible puzzle to see me fail. That's something I'm proud of. I always finish even the impossible puzzles.
It's funny the lengths puzzlers will go to prove somebody wrong that a puzzle is impossible.
Yeah, I do it also besides puzzling. I always try to prove people wrong. I like to be right.
Is it more fun to be right or to have somebody else be wrong?
Don't ask me this question. No, I would say to prove others that they are wrong, which doesn't always mean that I'm right, right?
Well, what do you have coming up next in your puzzling world?
So I'm very, very, very excited to meet Michelle in Leonberg. Finally, after more than a year, I go there. It will be the first real life competition with Patrick in pairs. I'm also very excited to be there. And then I go to Belgium with my mom and my sister to attend the Belgium Nationals. And then the next day I participate with Michelle at the marathon, which is also something I always wanted to do. And then I think about going to the Dutch Nationals or the European Champs. I really hope I can go to the Worlds. I signed in, I paid for it, I booked everything, but it's during school days. I'm a teacher. I told my boss I won't be there this week, but I don't know if it's possible because the boss above the boss doesn't know yet. And I already take off for Everest. So it's, let's say 50-50 chance to be there. But I really, really, really want to go there because that's where everything started. Yeah, so I just feel like I missed so many competitions last year that every time I hear from a competition, I'm like, I have to go, I want to go. So, yeah. So first, Leonberg, which I'm really excited about, then Belgisch Championship. And we also have something in France, a live event, which like they had already won last year. I won it by far, so they were really slow. Everyone else. So I didn't feel good about it because I felt like I don't belong there. So they have a second thing going up and they try to have more speedy puzzlers. So I'm also excited to go there to find out if I'm also okay with fast puzzlers. Yeah.
Well, I think you're definitely okay with fast puzzles. You're very speedy across the board. And I hope your bosses see you going to Worlds and to Everest as a learning opportunity for your students, that you can do all sorts of different things at the same time and be really successful at it. I think that's wonderful. I am going to make a special request. Can you do me a big favor? And when you see Michelle, can you give her a big hug from me?
Oh yeah, I do.
Because yeah, thank you for that, Michelle. You didn't hear that, but one's coming to you.
I also have to bring
really
a hug
great.
from my mom and from my sister because they managed to meet her at Worlds.
How are you going to pack your suitcase when it's just loaded with hugs for other people? That's going to be really tough.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Yeah, so in Leonberg, but also we've managed to form a team for the 10-hour competition in Belgium. So it's Frugi, Catherine, Beck, Annemie, myself, and Tanya. So yeah, that's an exciting, team event.
That's gonna be a powerhouse team. That's exciting.
Yeah, so we'll be puzzling together for 10 hours, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah, well, thanks so much for your time today, Annemie. It's been really great to catch up, and very coincidental that it happened to be sunshine puzzles. I think that worked out really well, considering that's the puzzle you brought with you up the mountain. And yeah, good luck for all your competitions and mountain climbing ambitions. It's wonderful. Thanks so much, and you did amazing today.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Michelle, for everything you do for us. I can't like express enough. I always tell you, write you. It's just amazing what you do. You put so much time in this, and I really hope you get so much back, because it means the world to me that you make stuff like this possible. It's really perfect for me.
Oh, thanks so much. That really means a lot. And yeah, I'm really glad you've been such an active participant in our competitions. It's really been exciting to see. So thanks, Annemie. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's...
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Is it that close? Oh, it is that close, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah.
February, there's like so much happening. It's like February's like just in the distance. I can't look yet. Yeah, so we'll see you, Annemie, in 2 weeks. And yeah, keep on going, Julie and Marie. Enjoy your puzzles. And thanks to everyone who joined. I mean, that was amazing. That was 3.5 hours, and we had so much action in the chat going on. Really happy to hear how people found their puzzles. Many people got their best times today, personal bests. And Freya pointed out that on the myspeedpuzzling.com, many of the puzzlers from today are in the top 10. So it sounds like, I wasn't quite sure if it's with this puzzle. That would be amazing if this puzzle shot up there. But yeah, I think that's positive feedback that we'll have another solo 1000.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, usually in the US, a lot of the 1,000 solo times kind of bounce between like upper 120s and then kind of the lower 140s, and usually aiming like at about an hour 30 or so for finishes on average. So to have the first batch be this low is really phenomenal on this. So it is a fast 1,000, and people can certainly get through it, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I think everyone should be really proud of themselves, what they've accomplished today.
Yeah. Can I make a quick separate plug, because I'm just excited for a couple of people. Yesterday is Winter Carnival in the US. It's one of the big puzzle events, and Becca Taylor, Alice Rowe, Kelly Walter, and Sammy Brownlow won both the 1,000 team and 500 piece team event on that, and I'm just really excited for them because they're awesome, and they did a really good job. So quick shout out to them, congrats, and good job, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the Winter Carnival just happened on the weekend. That's a huge event. So to win that, I mean, they have a huge number of teams participating.
I think it's like 150 some odd, if I'm right. Yeah. And then today's the solo events and some of that. So it's gonna be pretty wild. But I don't think it'll be quite as wild as watching over 80 people do a 1,000-piece puzzle for the first time in competition in Europe, which is absolutely phenomenal. Michelle, it's really great to see you put this together. There's a whole bunch of people in the chat saying more 1,000 solos. I think that it's going to need to be a thing. The people are asking for it. They've gotten a taste of the good stuff, and it's really wonderful.
Well, there's a 1,000 solo that's been packed, and that will be available in the next round of competitions as well. So I hope people will come back for more. All right, so yeah, that's a wrap, everyone. Thanks so much for your time and all the participation and commentary. And yeah, Jim, time for some breakfast. And the sun has finally risen. Yeah. I can see the light shining.
Yeah, you can
through.
See it in the window there. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your effort. I mean, it's always I always feel a bit bad that you have to wake up at such an unfavorable hour to join the Sunday competitions, but I really appreciate it. So
Oh, I appreciate you letting me tag along. It's an absolute blast, and I just like getting to hang out with everybody. So thanks for having me on, Michelle, and congrats to all the puzzlers today.
yeah, they did amazing. Thanks everyone, and have a good Sunday. Bye.